Hey Alexa, play Run This Town by Jay-Z. Play Run This Town by Jay-Z. Play Run This Town by Jay-Z. Hey Alexa, stop. And so last week we talked about black people. Well, this week we are talking about the LGBTQIA community. And we will continue to have these conversations. So if you are interested in joining the panel, go ahead and hop in the box. If you're already in the request, hold tight. As soon as we get up to 8,000 likes, we will open up the panel. So until then, guys, tap the screen, share the live out. If you haven't sent your daily heart me, go ahead and send your daily heart me. If you are interested in getting in on this conversation, if you are interested in making your voice heard, listen, especially if you're a part of the LGBTQIA plus community, if you are interested in making your voice heard, now's the time. Go ahead and grab a spot on the panel. We're almost at 8,000 likes. As soon as we get to 8,000 likes, we will open up the panel. As soon as we get to 8,000 likes, we will open up the panel. Marginalized, oh, like unborn fetus. No one's more marginalized than unborn babies. That's not true, Sip. Or Sir Sipalite. That's not true at all. But Sir Sipalite, go ahead and request up. I would like to hear your opinion. I would love to hear your opinion on that, Sir Sipalite. Go ahead and request up. Guys, we're almost at 8,000 likes. As soon as we're at 8,000 likes, we will go ahead and open up the panel, share the live out, do all the wonderful things. Guys, we got our daily gift goal. It's the Live Fest. It's only 1 coin. Guys, let's knock that out, because the more we do, the more we engage, the more we let the TikTok know that we're here for a great conversation. It's going to push us out to the FYP. It's going to help push us to the FYP, and we need that. We need that. Guys, just a quick reminder as well, your boy Santana is taking it worldwide. Right now, I am live on the old YouTubes. I'm also live on Twitch, as we are live on the TikToks. So if you're trying to go worldwide with your boy, go ahead and grab a spot on the panel. Go ahead and grab a spot on the panel, because we're about to go ahead and open up the panel. We are about to go ahead and open up the panel. As I bring people in on the panel, please mute yourself. Please mute yourself as I bring you in on the panel. And I will go around and I will do introductions. Oh, hold on. Hey, Reese.
Hey, Santana.
Hey. I'm going to drop you down. Request back up. My special guest for this week, Sean. I need to put Sean in that box. So Reese and Sean,
Sure.
I'm going to drop both of you. Sean, can you tap on that open box where Reese is going to be at? And then that way you'll come into that spot?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, perfect. I'm going to drop both of you. All right, guys, keep tapping the screen. Share the live out. Do all the wonderful things. Yeah, your boy, Mr. Worldwide. Listen, we are taking it all. Listen. They're talking about they might ban the TikToks. I don't know if they're going to do it or not, but you know what? We aren't stopping. We're just getting started. So I'm thinking about making me a X page. I already got my Blue Sky, got the YouTube, got the Twitch. I'm thinking about doing maybe a Instagram. Listen, I even thought about today making a Facebook. Yeah, I said Facebook. Yeah, I said it. So, with that being said, guys, if you are interested in grabbing a spot on the panel, please go ahead and request up. Keep tapping the screen. Let's get this thing up to 25,000 likes. Share the live out. We only have 16 shares, guys. We only have 16 shares. We can do way better than that. Let's go ahead and get this up to 50 shares. Get it up to 50 shares. If you have not sent your daily heart me, it's only 1 coin. And it helps push us out to the live and the FYP. I'm also going to reset the gift goal. I'm setting the gift goal with these 1 cent items, just because with knocking out these 1 cent, the whole point of this is to keep knocking these out, so it pushes us out to the FYP so we can have these conversations. So I just set the daily gift goal or whatever again. It's just the 1 cent little goals. We knock these things out. It helped push us out to the FYP. Or if you are interested, thank you for the heart me. If you are interested in actually getting on the panel and having this conversation and talking about what the LGBTQIA community looks like in Trump America, go ahead and request up. If you are someone that is a part of the community, go ahead and request up. If you are someone that is not a part of the community, but you actually want to find out what can you do to be helpful, go ahead and request up. If you are someone who voted for Donald Trump and you don't think that they're going to lose any rights, you don't think anything is going to be harmful, then go ahead and request up. I want to hear from everybody. And guys, as we go ahead and get ready to start this conversation, let me tell you a quick story. I need you guys here with me tonight. I need you guys locked in with me tonight. The reason why I say that is because I did something today that I have not done in 4 years. 4 years. Today, I went into the office for a meeting, and I was there all day. Yeah. First time in 4 years, I actually had to put pants on to go to work. I had to put pants on to go to work. I had to go into the office, and I sat in a conference room all day looking at people's face that I didn't want to see, talking about stuff that I didn't want to talk about. And listen, I am happy to be here with you guys, but I'm also tired. So I need you guys to lock in with me, and we're going to go through this. Okay. Yeah, Reese, you can come back whenever you have an opportunity. Yeah, absolutely. They had your boy hemmed up all day. All day hemmed up. Laughing and kikiing like I wanted to be there. I didn't want to be there. But I wanted to be here with you guys. With that said, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get this thing up to 25,000 likes. Let's go around the panel. And if you are interested in getting a spot on the panel, please go ahead and request up. If you are interested in getting a spot on the panel, please go ahead and request up. I'm going to go ahead and do the introductions. We're going to start with my special guest this week, Sean. What up, Sean?
Hey, what's up?
Sean, can you tell the people? We're going to run through, panel, we're going to run through the same questions. The questions are, Sean, what are your pronouns? Are you a part of the community? And what are your expectations for the community under this Trump administration for the next 4 years?
I'm Sean. Obviously, I am part of the community. I'm a trans woman. I'm also pansexual, and my pronouns are she/her. And what I hope to expect from the community and all communities
No. What do you expect for the community because of the Trump administration?
It's kind of the same thing.
Okay.
I expect, well, at least what I hope. This is what I'm hoping for, is radicalization of my community and of all of the intersections around it.
You know what? That's because you're a radical, Sean. Listen, you stay ready for the revolution. That's all it is.
I got to.
Perfect. Thank you, Sean. Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Hi, Santana.
Sarah, can you tell the people what are your pronouns? Are you a part of the community? And what do you expect for the LGBTQIA community under these next 4 years of the Trump administration?
Yeah, my pronouns are she, her. I am not a part of the community, but I have a lot of family and friends that are. And I'm not sure, actually, but I know that a lot of minority groups, not a lot of groups that are from different backgrounds are all in danger. So I don't put it past that the LGBTQIA community's going to be in danger too.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, Sarah, I mean it when I say I really worry about multiple communities. I genuinely worry about marginalized communities under the Trump administration. And that's one reason why these conversations are so important. That's why I'm here. That's why we are talking about this, because marginalized communities will be attacked under the Trump administration, and we need to dig into it. Thank you for that, Corey. Hey, Corey, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Wonderful, Corey. What are your pronouns? Are you a part of the community? And what do you expect for the community under these next 4 years of the Trump administration?
My pronouns are she, her. I'm not really sure where I fall, so I like what I like. I don't know. That's all I really got. As far as what I expect, it's gonna it's gonna suck. So I hope I'm ready to burn some shit down.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't really have much other than that. I just want to burn some shit down.
Yeah, no, listen, I completely understand. I completely understand. Again, I mean, I think that these next 4 years are going to be extremely tough, and we just have to be prepared for it. Thank you so much for that, Corey. I'm glad to hear that you're ready to burn some shit down. All right, guys. With that being said, again, we have a couple of spots open on the panel. If you are interested in jumping on the panel and joining the conversation, please, please, please go ahead and request up. In the meantime, while you are in the chat, tap the screen for me. We're at 22,000 likes. Let's keep the likes moving. Please, please, please. Let's go ahead and get this thing. Matter of fact, not only let's get it to 25,000 likes, but let's go ahead and get it to 50,000 likes. Also, let's knock out the daily gift goal. There we go. Let's knock out the daily gift goal that helps push us out to the FYP. So let's keep it moving. Real quick, before we get started, this is for the panel. Just a reminder that we want to be able to have these conversations. And since we want to be able to have these conversations, we need to be mindful of TikTok-friendly language. What does that mean? We need to use words like AB, unalive, schmurder, C19, mustache man, schnotzy, all of those types of things that protect not only your TikTok, but it protects the live. Also, we don't deal with any of the isms here. Or, well, we deal with them, but we don't accept them. That means we don't accept racism, sexism, classism. We also don't do any of the phobias. Homophobia, transphobia, none of it. My mods, we don't play that on the panel, nor do we play that in the chat. So if you are in the chat and you are participating in any of that, you will be muted and blocked. My mods do not play games. Oh, also, just a reminder for the people in the chat, caps are for mods. Please, 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 please don't use caps. Caps are for mods. It draws my attention to the chat, away from the panel, and I want to be able to have the conversation with the people on the panel. Kai Bear couple, how are you?
I'm doing great, Santana. How are you doing, sir?
Wonderful, wonderful. Kai Bear, can you tell the people what are your pronouns? Are you a part of the community? And what do you expect for the LGBTQIA community for the next 4 years under the Trump administration?
I'm a he, him. I am part of the community, poly. And I think these are going to be some concerning 4 years because I think under this administration, not only are we going to be battling them, we're going to be battling ourselves from the division that has happened with parts of our community voting for this administration.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's something, you know what, I'm really glad that you said that because I want to get into that. That's been something that's super interesting to me. The fact that there has been people that are a part of the community that was willing to vote for Trump, and there's a lot to it. But before we do that, so I'm going to start with you, Sean. So the last time, or on Monday, we started with transphobia is misogynoir, right? And so we can get back into that at any point. But what I would like to do is talk to ignorance is hate, right? So I would love for you to share with the people what that means as far as ignorance is hate. And then I have a follow-up question for you.
Yeah, no problem at all. Ignorance is hate is when I said it, what I meant was that the willful ignorance of people to not be aware of either issues or really any information about certain marginalized groups is their hatred is showing their hatred towards these marginalized groups. We have a supercomputer in our hand. We're literally on a supercomputer right now. You can Google something. Google's super duper free. You can just go on Google some things about trans people, Google some things about gender affirming care. You can Google about any marginalized demographic. You can Google if 1350 is real, but they don't do it because they don't like Black people. The ignorance keeps them in the dark of their own personal racism. Ian Danskin has if anyone knows who Ian Danskin is, he has he has a YouTube channel. It's called Innuendo Studios, and he has a video called "The Cost of Doing Business." And what he says in it, one of the excerpts of it is that um, white people oftentimes aren't aware of their racism, but it's worse because they don't even want to be made aware of their racism, because being called racist is worse than actually doing the act of racism. And so to keep yourself ignorant and to keep yourself with the ability and the lack of consciousness, I should say, to continue to instill harm upon marginalized demographics, regardless of who they are, is your hatred.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm so glad that you said that. And you know what? I'm sorry. Give me a second because I forgot to do the thing. Guys, just an FYI, so we're at 30,000 likes. Let's keep tapping the screen. Let's get it up to 50,000 likes. Let's get the shares. We are at 102 shares. Let's get the shares up to 150 shares. Also, guys, we do have our nightly donation goal of $250. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. It's going to be Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24, which is down in the corner of the screen. It's the best way to support the live. So if you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And while Sean is on the panel, let's make sure that we're taking care of Sean, right? Not only are we gifting Sean, but we are hitting Sean's pay links. And just an FYI, I know some people might have the Venmo, but we're going to focus on the Cash App. So Sean's Cash App is Watch My Legs. So guys, if you want to actually take care of Sean, make sure you send Sean something to the Cash App, and you can put a message in, and Sean will read the message out as well. But stay respectful. With that being said, Sean, so I have a question for you. With the whole thought process, right? Like you said, there's a supercomputer in your hand, and then something that Kai Bear said, right? The fact that I don't want to say many, but there were a couple of people that were loud and proud that are part of the LGBTQIA community that voted for Trump. Do you think, like, I guess not do you think, what are your thoughts behind that? Is there a sense of actual ignorance where they just didn't educate themselves? Or what do you think is the biggest reason behind people in that community? And which I guess it's a crazy question because, you know, you have black people voting for Trump. But regardless, what are your thoughts behind those people who openly know that this person isn't good for them and this person isn't going to be beneficial to them, but yet they're still willing to vote for him, where you can do something as simple as find out that Donald Trump wants to get trans people out of the military? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm actually glad you said this because this goes with a bunch of different things, as along with the transphobia, misogynoir, as well as like the lack of communication that we have towards each other. Trans people especially trans people, and this is who I saw the most, who were like the loudest and the proudest, because there were gays for Trump, but that was more of a 2016 thing than it was even a 2020 thing. And this year in 2024, it was a big trans people for Trump. They didn't say trans people for Trump, but they said a slur. But the whole point was multitude of things. There was a multitude of intersections because the loudest trans people that you heard talking about trans people for Trump were white. And that goes into their ability to look past their lack of privilege in their standing in a marginalized community, which would be the queer community, in order to oppress someone else. And with this I'm going to say some spicy shit up here tonight, because with this entire election, we saw white supremacy galore with entire campaigns being ran that I'm more of a white supremacist than you are, and that's what's going to win me the election. And we saw one camp dive headfirst into it, and we saw the other camp kind of coast, and everyone was just cool with white supremacy. I'll get into that a little bit later, because that's a little it's a little lengthy, and I'm already yapping. But to give you my direct thoughts on it, I don't think it's necessarily ignorance. I mean, sure, you can say it's ignorance, but it's like you. I don't really think it's ignorance. I think it's more of the idea that if you have someone to look down on, you can make an excuse to side with any kind of oppression. My friend Liv has this topic that he puts up oftentimes, and it says the entire history of the United States, is rich white people telling poor white people that the reason they can't get jobs is because of niggas.
Ooh, ooh, I know that's right. I know that's right. I know that's right. Whew. Okay. Reese, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. Sorry I had to drop.
No
How are
one,
you?
no worries, no worries. I'm good. I don't think that we got to actually introduce you as far as the questions, right?
No,
Okay, perfect.
no.
Reese, can you tell the people what are your pronouns? Are you a part of the community? And what are your expectations for the LGBTQIA community for the next 4 years under the Trump administration?
Sure. My pronouns are she, her. I'm not part of the community, but I have lots of family and friends who are part of the community. And I think as far as the next 4 years goes, I honestly have no idea. Like I'm not in the community, so I don't want to speak like on behalf of anyone. But I just thought it would be cool to participate in this conversation because like I have a lot of insight, but not necessarily like steps to take. I think I'd just like to hear from everyone and try to like learn what I can do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That absolutely makes sense. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. I want to come to you, Kai Bear. Because you are a part of the community. Can you tell us one more time? You said you are what?
A poly relationship.
Okay. Can you break that down for me, please?
So there's three of us.
Oh, poly.
And
Okay.
yeah, like polyamorous.
Yeah.
I'm even new to the term. Like
Okay.
I couldn't even tell you a lot of history of that part of it.
Okay.
More is fun.
I hear you. So, I guess my question is, and you know, if you don't mind me asking, your two other spouses, they are they what are their
Go ahead, say
pronouns?
it. You won't offend me.
No,
They don't go by that.
okay.
They're in their mid to late 50s, and it's just they're part of the older. Well, one of them is newly to the whole community.
Okay.
He was married, and something happened one day, and he just fell in love.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the other one, he doesn't partake in it. Like he will always vote for the community, but like when it came down to trans issues. And guilty of this myself, of not understanding it. At first I hear the kids, and the kids, the Gen Z, they were loud. They made it known, and I wasn't interested. And I just happened to scroll into a live one night,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, "Why do I dislike somebody in my own community? I don't have a reason to."
Mm-hmm.
And I took the time to learn, and I see, at first, I was angry. I'm just going to say how it was for me.
Yeah, please.
I was angry because the spotlight was on our group that we fought for. And then I realized, wait, T's been there since 89, 90. It just was such a small part of the group that it's not something living in Kentucky that I ever interfaced with. But when I took the time to learn, I opened my arms to protect them. I knew that my vote was not going to change. I'm a white gay man. I can hide that I'm gay.
Mm-hmm.
And white gets me so much privilege already.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew I had to embrace this group and protect them. It was my turn to protect them, like the people that came before me protected me
Mm-hmm.
while I was young and growing up. And I spent a lot of time learning the knowledge of I'm still terrible with pronouns, or like the she, him. Like I'll misgender so bad for it, but smack my hands if I do it. I'm good with that.
Listen, Kai Bear, and I'll tell you this, like, I'm the same way, right? I try, I really do try, and I always say, blame my head, not my heart, when I do that. And I've had many conversations with people in my community, and I try so hard to get that part right. So I completely understand exactly what you're saying.
Well, you've developed an awesome platform here, and I've learned a lot in this platform. When Sean mentioned Liv was one of my first introductions to the BIPOC community. I could have never been introduced to a greater person. Him and Itchy and all of them are just very knowledgeable. And, the BIPOC community and the LGBT community go way back. Mm-hmm. They took us under their wing when we were such a small group that we didn't have enough of us to do anything. So I'm very much appreciative to that.
Yeah. No.
But one thing I do want to mention, white gay men have become a problem this election. They're complacent with the idea that they got it comfortable. And they stopped caring about everybody else. And that was a problem for me. I noticed that this election.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's, you know what? And I'll say this. I don't know if I would say that they got complacent and they stopped caring, but I do think there's a sense of, and I'm going to just keep it funky. There's a sense of understanding that the competition is thick, right? And then whitey men understanding that, their spot at the top of the food chain is not secure. I think that drove a lot of them to do what they have done. A lot of them to embrace Trump and his administration the way that they have embraced it. And I think that's what it really boils down to. And it's a lot easier to other people than it is to actually embrace people and be better. So I think that's what happened.
I choose to be better. I would never. Like Absolutely. That, it's a shame.
Absolutely. All right, hold on one second, Kai Bear. Is it Lily? Lily B?
Yes, it's Lily.
Hey, Lily B. Lily B, what are your pronouns? Are you a part of the community? And what do you expect for the next 4 years for the LGBTQIA community under the Trump administration?
So my pronouns are she, her, and I am not part of the community, but I have very close friends and some family who are. And for the next 4 years, I am very scared for them because of not only policy, but also because of behaviors we see from people like Donald Trump that sets examples for the rest of the country.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Sean, you said you had something you want to read out?
Yeah, I got some shout outs. Shout out to Kayla. Thank you for the Cash App, and shout out to Sage. Y'all are so amazing. I appreciate y'all so much. You're all amazing. I didn't want to stop the conversation for it, but I do want to give shout outs anytime someone sends me money. That shit is just crazy work to me.
Right. Absolutely.
Like I'm just sitting here and y'all are just sending me. It's crazy. All right.
Listen, W's in the chat. Let's make sure, again, guys, let's make sure we're taking care of our special guest, Sean, while Sean is up here, because, again, your boy Santana ain't the sharpest spoon in the drawer. And that's why I lean on the people that I know are smart. And that's why I'm going to be leaning on Sean tonight. And I've been leaning on Sean as of Monday, and we're going to do it again tomorrow. So make sure that we are taking care of Sean. Make sure we're hitting our paid links or Cash App, which is Watch My Legs. And again, if you guys want to, attach a nice little message, Sean will read it off. With that being said, Sean, I got a question for you. Because Kai Bear said something that actually sparked my attention. And I'm wondering if you can kind of dig into that a little bit more. But he spoke on how, as being, a gay whitey man, he originally had, Kai Bear, and you can tell me if I'm misquoting you or whatever, but you had animosity, or you didn't like the trans community. but then you had to actually educate yourself to become better.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I would fight tooth and nail for him now.
Right.
It was just lack of knowledge, lack of education.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. With that being said, Sean, hey, where's TTS? I don't know who to. Listen, guys, again, I am live streaming on Twitch and YouTube as well, and somebody on Twitch just put something in the chat on Twitch. I got 2 people watching on Twitch. You can't tell me nothing. Somebody just put something in the chat. Where is there TTS? I don't know what TTS is. I'm not sure what TTS is. Anyway.
Text to speak. I don't think we have a TTS.
Oh yeah, listen, I'm not that fancy, not yet. Listen, let me work on that.
Do you have in your options? You might have captions in your options that might help out.
Oh, okay, I gotta figure that out. I'll check it out. Okay, Sean. With that being said, can you dig into that for me, because like I didn't know that was necessarily a thing, right? Can you? I guess, can you educate me a little bit on the history as far as the overall acceptance of the trans community when it comes to the rest of the actual community, and is that rooted in ignorance, or can you just explain that to me a little bit, please?
Yeah, it's rooted in a bunch of different things. Real quick, shout out to Corey. Corey sent me $2 and said, "Cute little message."
W's in the chat for Corey.
That's funny. Cute little message
Corey
is
thinks
great.
she funny. Corey ain't that funny. She kind of
Corey
funny.
is.
Corey be funny sometimes. I ain't even gonna lie.
I will say, going back into the conversation about what Kyle had said, gay white men have been. Gay white men have been an issue for a long time in our community, but just gay people in the queer community, we haven't had a lot of solidarity. We've had solidarity, but we have had a lot of division, and it comes with obviously ignorance of how people feel about certain things. White women are also an issue within the community for they've done things within, we call them TERFs, in the TERF community, where it's trans exclusionary radical feminists.
Perfect. I was just gonna say, explain that for me.
Yeah, and there's like whole factions of queer lesbians calling trans women men, and this also goes with like gay men as well, who do these same things, and it's usually about going into the leaning on white supremacy. There is a quote, and I can't remember who it's by. I think it's by Kwame Ture, but I'll look at who it's by, and it's this is how it goes. It says, "Gay white men are so dangerous because they realize the only thing that is keeping them from holding as much power as they possibly could is their queer identity. So as much as they try and normalize their queer identity and find someone to step on in order to make it to the top, they will absolutely do so. And they will lean on all of the privileges that they have in order to do exactly that, because gay white men are angry at the fact that their queerness keeps them from experiencing as much white privilege and as much male privilege as they possibly could."
Wow.
If I could I hop in right here, Santana?
Yeah. Hey, Ty, go right ahead. Well, Ty, before you start, you got to do the things.
Yes.
Tell the people, what are your pronouns? Are you a part of the community? And what are your expectations for the community under the Trump administration in the next 4 years?
Yeah, so hi everybody, I'm Ty. My pronouns are they, he. I have been a part of the community since I was 18. I'm actually married to a transgender woman. My expectations for the next 4 years are unfortunately kind of grim. There are little slivers of sunshine and hope, but most of those have nothing to do with the government and have everything to do with plans that I have for myself and to continue to advocate for my community. All of that being said, I feel like this conversation really harkens back to our conversation last week, when I said that the problem with trying to have a queer BIPOC alliance is that there is a large division in the queer community. And I agree with Sean. I think that gay and lesbian white people are definitely an issue here. But in addition to that, I don't think it's just a lack of, I don't think it's just ignorance. I think a significant part of it also has to do with some red pilling going on.
Yep.
Because I feel like what's going on in the community is significantly more than just lack of awareness, lack of education. It is like active hatred. It is active vitriol. And people are like those groups of people, unfortunately, they have the loudest voice in our community. So if the loudest voice in our community is saying that trans identities aren't valid, then how are we supposed to argue with that as such a smaller voice in comparison? We don't have nearly the amount of representatives in the public eye as the trans community than the gay and lesbian community do.
Yeah, no, listen, that's a great point. I'm actually really happy that you said that because, so the thing that that I am still trying to figure out, right, is the whole red pilling thing. The whole red pilling thing, that's a whole interesting concept to me. I don't really understand it, and maybe someone on the panel can help me understand it. Reese.
Yeah, I was...
Really quickly, before you jump into red pilling, I just wanted to say something about ignorance and especially
go right ahead.
And Sean was talking about in white women and men, and as a white woman, I think before I was pretty ignorant, because I'm pretty left leaning and I like to think I'm educated on a lot of topics, but one of the things that I'm least educated about is trans people, and I think I've definitely improved. But when I was younger, I was involved with women in sports, working on writing some Title IX legislation, which is just solving inequities in sport. And one of the things I didn't understand was how trans people are involved in sport, and that's definitely a huge topic that a lot of MAGA people are always how do you think it's fair that these trans women are competing with women when they're biologically male? But it's not as simple as that. And I think ignorance is a huge thing, but I also really want to hear about red pilling because I'm not educated on that either. But obviously my views have now changed now that I know how hormone therapy works and the requirements by state, and it's just I think people aren't okay with adapting to change, and it's not trans people haven't been around forever. It's just that people aren't okay with accepting people into society, and that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, listen, it's a whole thing. What up, Jay? Give me
How's it going, Santana?
Good. Listen, I'm about to put you on the spot, Jaden, so I hope you're ready.
Hang on, I just got here. Let me
know.
get comfortable.
Listen, no, you listen.
And they really can't be trusted.
Listen. Who can't be trusted?
This Jaden guy. I just don't trust him. I don't know why.
Who are you? I don't know who you are, but that's okay.
Sometimes you gotta watch out for Jaden. But no, okay, hold on. Listen, guys, let's keep the likes moving. The likes are moving slow for some reason. We're only at 51,000 likes. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Share the live out. Let's get this thing up to 75,000 likes. What up, Sean on YouTube? Also, guys, our nightly donation goal is $250. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. So if you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And please make sure we take care of my special guest, Sean, who is on the panel with me all week, laboring on this topic. Ain't that right, Sean?
I sure am.
All right. So, listen, this is what I want to do. Well, first, Thank you for the heart me. Jaden, let me ask you the questions.
Mhm.
What are your pronouns? Are you a part of the community? And what are your expectations for the LGBTQIA community over these next 4 years under the Trump administration?
Well, he, him, um, pansexual. And my expectations is it's going to be grueling. I think we're seeing it right now. Recently, today, I believe it was, the House Republicans announced a bill, a defense spending bill, which slashed funding and banned the use of gender affirming care for the children of service members. So it's going to be hard. There's going to be pushback, but that's not to say that it's all doom and gloom. The Montana Supreme Court today struck down a ban on gender affirming care in their state, so that is cleared. And I suspect other states are going to be taking that up. Other Supreme Courts on the state level are going to be taking that up. So I think what is imperative is people not to get complicit. People need to organize. People need to forward the word of a multitude of different charities that would help trans youth, that would help homeless trans people, especially black trans people, so that their medical autonomy is protected, so that their access to hormones is protected, so that their housing is protected. So that's what's going to be the move forward, is going to be this fight.
Got it. So, Jaden, I'm going to put you on the spot, right? I think Reese said it, and it's something that Sean at some point is supposed to be taking me through and help me understand. But since you're here, I'm going to have you labor on this a little bit. So there was a point made that there's also a sense of, I guess, red pilling that really affects the LGBTQIA community, because we're also speaking about not only was there people in the community willing to vote for Trump, even though they knew that the rights were going to be taken away, but also there was some underlining hate from certain gay men towards trans people. So the question I have for you is, one, do you think that the red pill, well, one, can you break down red pill mentality for me? But two, do you think that's something that's infiltrated the community that actually got people to turn towards Trump?
So basically, red pilling is, in other terms, fascist drift, or fascist creep, as they call it. It's the slow or often gradual progression into right-wing thinking, into sometimes far-right ideologies, and rejection of liberalism and postmodernism. This ultimately boils down into positions, as you pointed to, of being anti-gay, of leaning into traditionalism, into scapegoating. And unfortunately, as is the case with many other minority groups, this is used as sort of a divider topic, so as to point and position certain groups against one another and distract against other greater disparities happening. So it used to be gay men were the ones targeted. We all know that. This happened from I honestly couldn't put a date on that. But more so now, there's been appeals to different communities, black men, gay men, what have you, in targeting other affected minority groups. In this case now, trans people. Reason why is because rejection of change here. Of the disruption of the status quo. They believe that the nuclear family sees fit, and any kind of disruption of that, be they trans women or what have you, is not within their agenda. So their ultimate goal, and this has been outright stated by members of Congress, is to ban gender affirming care, is to ban trans people, is to limit so much as any kind of discourse, any kind of education, any kind of access to gender affirming care, regardless of age, so that they do not and are not represented in the public light.
Wow. I think it's super interesting that knowing this, right? Because, the problem that I have is that there's a lot of Trump supporters who fell for, I don't even want to necessarily say fell for a lie, but they at least accepted the lie. Right? They accepted the lie. I don't know why the crown won't come down on my head. They accepted the lie of Trump when he said, you're not gonna, your prices aren't gonna raise with tariffs, and just things like that. But they have openly targeted the trans community, and again, there's so the person, and maybe what, Sean, let me come back to you real quick. Maybe you can help me with this one. I don't understand how it's Caitlyn Jenner, how Caitlyn Jenner can support Trump so loudly while Trump and his entire administration are leaning into actively harming the trans community. Do you have any perspective or anything on that for me? I kind of know what you might say based off of a little bit of our conversations, but I would love to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, so Caitlyn Jenner is a rich white woman, and to Caitlyn Jenner, that comes first. The Her support for Trump tends to be the support that people say that they give Trump. Where when Trump ran the first time in 2016, there was people who were saying like, "Oh, I know people who voted for Trump and they're not terrible people. They voted for their bottom line." That's like one of the big things that people said. They voted because they wanted more of a tax return. They voted because they wanted to make more in their business. They wanted their business to be deregulated because they're business owners or whatever else. And as we can see, Trump is for filling the swamp. He's not for like draining the swamp, as he said before. He's for nepotism, giving people more money, deregulating businesses so that higher ups can rip off workers, and this just puts more money in people's pockets. People like Caitlyn Jenner, who are investors in companies. People, especially when it comes to Caitlyn Jenner leaning on her money to become the woman that she wants to be. And when it comes to the community, she's willing to sell out the community, just like other, even trans people, especially white trans women, are willing to sell out the community because we see an evolution in the thought process of who is and who is not acceptable at the time. And as more things become more acceptable, we will see visceral reactions from people who are even in these communities to step on people who they see as under them, which is why what Jaden has said before, gay men were targeted, and now gay men are against trans people. And I know in 2016 there was a big thing, gays against trans people. And now it is trans people against trans people, where you have trans people who say that they're trans people for Trump, and they are going up against other trans people who want to do things that would express their own identity, like neopronouns or being non-binary. They say non-binary is not valid or something in that lines. They just want to find the new people to oppress so that they can then be accepted themselves.
That's a great point. It's a great point. Thank you for that, Sean. I want to come to Sarah. Sarah, I know you had something that you wanted to add, and so I'm going to give you the floor, but then I have
Really
a question
quick.
for you. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I do have to tell you this. I've received word that you have like some form of a voice changer going on, and it's cutting in and out. I didn't hear the voice. I heard it last night or not last night. I heard it Monday before I came on. But I've just received word about that. I'm sorry.
A voice changer?
Yeah, it makes you sound more high pitched, a little more high pitched. But they're telling me it goes in and out.
I genuinely have no idea what that is. And the speed is too fast. What do you mean the speed is too fast? I sound high pitched?
Yeah, see, yeah, there we go.
Hey, Santana.
Yeah.
That's actually a TikTok glitch that's going on right now. In order for people to fix that, they're going to have to swipe in and out of the live.
Oh, it's a TikTok glitch on your side. So, guys, just swipe out and then come right back in. Swipe out, come back in.
To wrap a bow on this, because I did distract a little bit.
Also, Sean, are you still on the YouTubes?
I'm watching on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay. Whenever you finish, can you go over and check the sound there for me as well?
Yeah, I got you. When I was there, the sound worked perfectly fine.
Okay, go ahead.
But I'll check it and I'll let you know. To wrap a bow on this, Caitlyn Jenner is a binary trans woman. She transitioned into a woman. She goes by she, her pronouns. She doesn't have anything to do with non-binary people, and she's willing to sell out the community because she's a rich white woman. And other people who are willing to sell out the community are doing so. Usually it is binary trans people. We're seeing a lot of binary trans women trying to sell out non-binary people within the community and say, oh, this is weird. This is not what we're about. We're about two genders. There's only two genders, and whatever else. Blair White does the same thing.
Okay. Okay. So I want to ask a question, and I know what certain people would tell me. Certain people would tell me, it's not up to, the people of the community to labor for me, and I need to go find this out. But I'm hoping, since we're digging into this topic, and I do have people that are knowledgeable, I'm gonna ask a stupid question, if you don't mind, Sean.
Shoot, go ahead.
Can you explain to me in the chat the difference between binary and non-binary, please?
Yeah, so binary is let's do this. Sex is bimodal. Basically, it's kind of on a spectrum in between male and female, and there can be pretty much anything in between. For genders, there's pretty much an unlimited amount of genders.
Right.
And which means that there's an unlimited amount of gender expressions. Binary just means that within the culture you're in, wherever it may be in the world, you subscribe to pretty much those like stereotypical and cultural practices that we would associate with, if you're a trans woman, you would associate with the stereotypical and cultural practices that we associate with the feminine.
Okay.
And if you're a trans man, you would associate, if you're a binary trans man, you would typically go towards what we see as a stereotypical and cultural practice of the masculine. So a lot of trans men grow beards. A lot of trans men love cowboy hats. I mean, I'm not mad at it.
I love
but
cowboy hats.
For whatever reason, look, they love cowboy hats. I don't know what it is. As soon as it's like they're they go trans, and then it's like it's part of the contract. But yeah, so and I can't talk because like when I transitioned, I had to sign a contract to love Flamin' Hot Cheetos. So
That's just a black thing, Sean. That's just a black thing.
I mean, hey, look, but it's a contract for women, though. So. But the whole point is, binary means that you try to adhere to the cultural and societal whatever it may be, not superstitions. The societal and the culture expectations, that's the word I'm looking for, of what either the masculine or the feminine is, depending on what you are. If you're a trans woman, you would go hyper feminine, and if you're a trans man, you would typically go hyper masculine.
Got it. Perfect.
If I could hop in here again, guys.
Yeah, go ahead, Ty.
Sorry. So I am non-binary. I'm a part of that community. I think that Sean really kind of hit the nail on the head. But I also want to add that non-binary really means something different to every non-binary person. So, there just a couple examples.
Wait, Ty, can you explain that to me? How is that?
Yeah. So for me personally, as a non-binary person, right? I don't particularly adhere to feminine traits. I don't particularly adhere to masculine traits. I kind of switch back and forth between both. Sometimes I do neither. Really, my goal in life is for everyone to be confused about my gender because samesies, if that makes sense.
Kind of like what Sean was saying, and Reese just said it in the chat, because it's a spectrum. Is that
right?
Accurate? Got it.
I mean, for some people, gender fluidity is more their speed, so they specifically claim to switch back and forth, whereas some people claim non-binary because they just don't quite fit in either category. For me personally, I tend to swing significantly more masculine, so I do claim, basically I say non-binary transmasculine. Because whenever it comes to the way that I present myself, I do tend to present myself significantly more masculine than I do feminine.
Mm-hmm.
And the joke in my house has always been, even before my wife came out as transgender, that I was the husband. Yeah, so it just, worked out well that I ended up with a wife. But, yeah, so I just wanted to say that non-binary is definitely very different depending on who you talk to. There's a lot of people out there who, there are transgender men who they do identify generally as men, but the way that they present themselves is very, very femboy kind of masculine rather than masculine, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I also want to bring up that Sean was talking about how trans people have even started to turn against non-binary individuals. Similarly, in specifically the sexuality aspect of our community, lesbians and gay people for a long time have had beef with bisexual and pansexual people. The accusation there has been that bisexual and pansexual people are transphobic, but for completely different reasons. So for bisexual people, the argument is that they're transphobic because bisexual implies that there are only two genders and there aren't. And then for pansexual people, the argument is that they're transphobic because they're claiming that trans identities aren't real, which is dumb. It's this whole thing where they're like trying to push bisexual and pansexual people out of the community as well. So on both the orientation side and the gender side, there's some contention with those outliers that aren't on a binary. And I think that probably largely has to do with, besides just ignorance, has to do with the human aptitude for binary in general. Our, unfortunately, human nature is to try to place everything in black and white and ignore the shades of gray. And so I think that's really what happens in the queer community too. I think anytime you have somebody who doesn't quite fit in that normalized binary, you get a lot of hatred for being in those non-normalized categories.
Yeah.
I have a question for you also, if that's okay.
Yeah.
For me?
Well, hold on. Hold your question just for a second, because Sarah wanted to say something, and I want to make sure that we get to Sarah's point, but I'll come right back to you as soon as we hit Sarah's point. Go ahead, Sarah.
Okay.
I just wanted to touch on the ignorance thing.
Yes.
Because for a long time, I would like to say I was a little bit ignorant in it. The way I was raised is a very, I don't want to say conservative because but I would say very non-LGBTQIA community. So I grew up in that, and I was very ignorant in that. And I think a lot of people that I grow up with are very ignorant, but it's because of a non-understanding. They don't want to accept it because it changes the way they think about it. And a lot of people get scared of that. And, when you have to... A person told me this. In an argument, to have a really good argument, you have to be okay with them changing your mind. Because then it's just a argument just for the sake of screaming at each other.
Yeah. No, listen, I think that's a great point, because, I mean, it's, let's be honest, so Sean said ignorance is hate, but also ignorance is easy, right? Being ignorant is completely easy. It takes nothing to actually be able to formulate an opinion without facts, right? It's easy for certain people, especially, I'm gonna keep it funky with you. Your old buddy Santana talks to these Trump supporters all the time, and Jaden, Sean, I don't know about either one of you, but it would be so easy and so much fun if I was a quote unquote Trump supporter and I could just say whatever I want, not having to find any proof or facts, and just being able to just make shit up at any time.
Yeah, I mean that's all that it is. It's they don't care about cognitive dissonance because like they lack the mental fortitude, I would say. They don't care about contradictions in logic. They don't care about not having sources or real arguments or anything to back them up. That's all that it is. As long as they're in their ignorance, they're bliss. They don't have to be fact checked. They don't have to be proven wrong in anything, and that's how they maintain themselves in their arguments.
Yeah, yeah, no.
And not that I expect anything else, but they don't care about honesty.
Absolutely.
Nope.
Like they don't care. They don't care about whether or not they're being honest, which is why they don't care about whether or not they're being consistent in their logic.
That's a great point.
I see them hide behind religion a lot for that too.
You know what, Kai Bear? I was
Yes,
just gonna
indeed.
go there, but go ahead. Go ahead, Kai Bear. I was gonna go there, but you go there.
Well, I'm going to be dropping. I want to say, Jaden Bub, I'm a follow yours. I actually look up to you. You are super, super intelligent, and I follow you, brother.
Thank you. I'll give you a follow back.
Yeah, like you're amazing. Like that dude spits out so many facts. But yeah, I do think that what they were saying leads into the topic of how this at least this time I noticed it more than the first president run with him, is that they're hiding behind religion and saying they're Christ-like, but they say the most vulgar things towards this community. And again, all I can do in Kentucky, it's just not a population around where I live, so all I can do is vote and have these conversations with people, and that's just the best I can do. Of course, I'm going to donate in the background and do what I can do. So, but I'm dropping. You have a absolutely wonderful panel. So
Yeah, I'm gonna drop down too.
Okay, thank you, Kai
I'm
Bear.
hungry.
Thank you,
Drop
Jaden.
down, Jaden.
Thank you, Jaden.
Before you drop down, Jaden, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Are you a voice actor on Hell of a Boss?
Yes.
Yes, he
Who
is.
do you voice act?
And wait, hold on. And guess what? Guess what? He's my friend. Right, Jaden? Am I wrong?
That's true. We
what
have each other's phone
character?
numbers.
I play Colin the Cherub from the Cherubs.
Oh my god.
Did you
Okay,
not
well,
know
I'm
that, Ty?
fangirl. No, I just looked at Jaden's bio.
Oh yeah, that's my guy.
Oh
Real
my
quick,
god, that's so crazy.
Since I don't want to hold you up, Jaden, but since we're talking about it, I'm going to shamelessly plug you and kind of put you on the spot. Are you doing any cons? Are you doing any events anytime?
Also, what's up with the stand up? Because I heard you say that you're going to start doing that too.
Yeah,
I didn't want to ask about that one because I am worried about not worried about it, but I am wondering about that stand up.
I want to know all
love to
of
see
it.
it. But I do want to.
Yeah, I can talk to you guys.
I
about
do
this
want
a
to
little
put you
bit.
on the spot for the cons and the events. Do you have any of those like coming up within like the next year or so?
The next year, yeah. I don't know about the immediate like first few months, but April there's one called Level Up in Las Vegas. There's a huge convention
love
with Hell of
Level
a
Up.
Boss and Has Been Hotel. It looks like I'm gonna be a part of that, and then there's Rhode Island Comic Con sometime in like November, October, something like that. And anything in between that is kind of in the air right now, where it takes a long time to book these things.
Yeah.
But I got that coming up. I have there's a screening of a short film that I was in. I play the main character. It's called Formerly Known As, coming out. And I can't say too much about it, but come February or March, you guys will be seeing stuff about this. There's I think it's a new streaming service or something like that. BET Plus has a new animated show with Kevin Hart on it. And I'm a lead character in that. I'm in all the episodes.
Okay.
So,
That's what's up.
yeah.
That's
and
what's
Beavis
up.
and Butthead comes back in the summer, I think July. I'm in a few of those episodes. That'll be on Comedy Central, airing first instead of on streaming first. So, yeah, that's what I got going on.
Jaden
W.
in the
Jaden
building.
in the chat.
Exactly.
W.
you.
Jaden.
And just to flex real quick, I had a really fun audition today for a show that I did not expect I would like. And it's Swiper the Fox from Dora. And I hope that I get it, because that was fun, yeah.
Really? Okay.
Oh man,
I hope you get it.
Oh my gosh,
And I
it would
can
be
say
so
that I know Swiper the Fox.
Swiper the
That'd
Fox
be
here.
amazing. No,
I
that'd be
will
amazing.
watch it just for you.
Thank
Oh my
you.
gosh.
Honestly.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, Jaden,
Yeah, I appreciate it.
you know how much? Oh, well, let me just do this. You know what I personally like recently, the video that you posted doing the Oogie Boogie Man for
Oh
voice acting.
yeah,
That was awesome.
the Oogie Boogie Man.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love that song.
yeah. That was so dope. Anyway, go get
Thank
food.
you. Thank you very much. I am starving, but thanks for having me up. I appreciate it. See you guys around.
Yeah, I'll catch you later.
Nice to meet you.
Around. Thank you for letting me put you on the
you.
spot.
Of course, anytime.
So guys, I want to kind of go into a topic, but first, let me just read this off. W's in the chat for Corey. Corey added $5 to the nightly donation goal, guys. So that means we're only $245 from closing out the nightly donation goal. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. It's going to be Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24, which is in the corner of the screen, is the best way to support the live. So if you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And please don't forget about Sean, because Sean is up here laboring, and I'm actually about to bring up a topic which I think is super interesting. And so this is going to be some hell of a laboring. So if you guys want to take care of Sean, make sure you hit Sean's Cash App, which is going to be Watch My Legs. With that being said, guys, I don't know what's going on with the likes. You guys are being kind of stingy with the likes. So this is what I'm going to do. We're at 167 likes. We're at 167,000 likes. I'm going to turn a timer on, right? I'm going to give us 10 minutes to get to 125,000 likes. If we're not at 125,000 likes in 10 minutes, I will turn the comments off. All right? With that being said, Sean, I'm going to need you to hold my hand and walk with me. I wish, do you know Sunkissed?
The drink?
No, the person.
Nah. Oh, wait. No, I do know that person, actually.
Okay, so Sunkissed has a saying, I'm gonna hold your hand with a thin paper towel in between it. So I need you to do this for me.
Okay.
Wait, Santana, sorry to interrupt you, but like, are you going to a new topic? Because I wanted to ask just a really quick question.
Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry. Go right ahead.
No, you're fine. So this is for Smokescreen, or just
Ty.
honestly?
It's Ty.
Oh, Ty. Okay, sorry. Or Sean, or I guess anyone really could answer this. But my question is just like, I feel like it's more of a comment. I don't know how to word it as a question, but as far as like non-binary people go, Ty said that like it means something different to everyone, right? So I feel like a lot of people have a hard time understanding, just because like it's a hard concept to grasp, I guess. But also like I just don't necessarily understand, like there's a difference obviously between like gender and sex, but like for gender fluid people, how does that work? Like what's the difference between being gender fluid and being non-binary? And also like if someone, like as far as their sex, has both genitalia, like is that just like personal preference on if they're non-binary or gender fluid?
Yeah, so I can answer this question, absolutely. So as far as genitalia goes, whenever people have more than one type of genitalia or some kind of mixture of both, that's generally intersex. And that's specifically like a sex. And as far as their gender goes, that's just completely up to that person. Some intersex people, despite having multiple different kinds, might identify as a woman or as a man or as non-binary. Specifically in regards to like gender fluid individuals, gender fluid is kind of under the umbrella of non-binary, although I would say that gender fluid people are probably a bit closer to the binary than a lot of other people under the gender binary. And the reason why I say that is because generally gender fluid people, they kind of skate back and forth on that binary between the two genders, if that makes sense. Whereas some people, they completely remove themselves from the binary altogether, or they sit somewhere in between on the scale. It just kind of depends on everybody. Like I said before, I do tend to lean more masculine. However, I don't claim to be a man. I don't feel like a man personally. Myself, I do think I am significantly more of a masculinized individual. But overall, I just don't really relate to male or female stereotypes in our society. And so in regards to like other non-binary individuals, the best thing to do is just to ask what that means if you meet a non-binary person. Don't feel afraid to ask what that means for that individual person, because it's going to be different for everybody. So it's I've been hearing it a lot recently from the Black community. We're not a monolith. And I think that really applies to non-binary people as well. It's going to be different for each one of us.
Yep.
That's a great answer. Thank you so much. And also just like, for you personally, how much like would you say like your identity as being like a non-binary person affects your everyday life? Like, because like for someone who's not in like the community, or someone who just identifies as like the stereotypical, like what you were saying earlier, it's not like talked about, so like how much would you say that affects you?
Yeah, so I think whenever my wife was identifying as a man, it didn't affect me very much at all. People just assumed that I was just a tomboy kind of person, and that's just what they assumed. And honestly, I've not ever really been one for like a big coming out type thing. I just kind of did my own thing, and if people asked why I did the things I did, I just was honest. So used to, I would say that it didn't really affect my day-to-day life much at all, other than people giving me crap for being kind of masculine, or when I was in school, people used to accuse me of being a lesbian before I came out. And not that that's a bad thing, but that is something that frequently happened, because I think my gender definitely was being questioned way before my sexuality was. But now that my wife is transgender, I think it affects my life significantly more. I think the fact that my wife is transgender puts me under a lot of scrutiny, and the things that I do, the things that I say, the way that I dress is under a lot of scrutiny. And I think that people are significantly more aware now that I'm a part of the community than they were before, because generally people who aren't a part of the community, my wife coming out as transgender 5 years into our marriage, that could be a marriage ending thing for a lot of straight people. So the fact that I didn't even blink twice about it, I think was kind of an eye-opening moment for a lot of people that I know that didn't realize I was queer before. So now it affects it a lot, but before it didn't at all.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for answering.
Absolutely.
Corey, I know you have something to say. Listen, let me say this real quick. Guys, we still got 3 minutes to get to 125,000 likes, or I'm going to turn the comments off and we're going to go to sub only. Tap the screen, share the live out, do all the wonderful things, send your daily heart me if you have not done so. And I'm going to come to Corey, but just an FYI for everybody on the panel, because I need to say hello to Lulu as well, because we haven't introduced Lulu. But after we get from Corey and after we say hello to Lulu, Sean, I want you to get your mind right. Ty, Reese, Lily, everybody. I want to talk about something that I've heard before, right? Especially growing up in the South. I grew up a Southern Baptist, right? And there was a whole issue with the actual community. But Kai Bear said something before he left that really sparked my thought process, and I want to get into it. And I've heard the term, pray the gay away. Pray the gay away. I want to talk about why is it that religion has been weaponized so much against the LGBTQIA community, and how has Trump and the Republican Party been able to effectively communicate a message based off of religion and actually hating a group of people? So I want everybody to get your mind ready for it. I want you to get your mind right for it. We're gonna come to Corey. Chat, we about to get into it. Corey, again, we got 1 minute to get up to 125,000 likes. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the comments off, and we're gonna go to sub only. Corey, what do you got?
Yeah, so something it was kind of mentioned while we were talking about something a little bit different, but one of the things that that I struggle with, like I said when we first started, I don't really know where I fall. Probably somewhere by Pan in that general area. A large part of why I don't identify with anything specifically. I've talked about it before. I'm a single mom, and a lot of people, when you come out, or if you say that you are a part of the community, I usually will just say that I'm lesbian, and leave it at that. But the reaction is usually, "Don't you have a kid though?" And I think that there's a lot of because of that just idea that I don't remember the exact verbiage that they used. Something along the lines of like there's a erasure wanting to like push it out, and I think that the idea of a nuclear family is a big part of why it gets pushed out, but it is very harmful because that's why a lot of I'm sure I'm not the only person that's like, I don't know where I fall, because yeah, I'm a single mom and I clearly had to have straight relations to get there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm straight, and that's just what I was thinking. I don't know.
Got it.
That's what I had.
In response to that,
Well, hold on. Hey, chat, we are in sub only. We are in sub only because we didn't make it to 125,000 likes. So, guys, if you want to join the conversation, you got two options. You can tap the screen to get this thing up to 125,000 likes, or you can go ahead and grab a subscription. Our subscriptions have been moving kind of slow, but guys, if you grab a subscription, you get access to our Discord, which we have an amazing community. We drop a lot of information there for us. As a matter of fact, the Discord was able to see this background before anyone else, and also got to share their thoughts on the background before anyone else. The Discord is an amazing place. We have a lot of different channels. We're fleshing a lot of things out there as well. You get access to a fast pass if you ever want to come up on the panel with any of the conversations with Late Night with Santana, and you also get access to a monthly kick. So if there's an op on the panel, a quote unquote op on the panel, as long as there's two or more people with the same opinion on the panel, and they've been up here for at least 10 minutes, if you want to kick them, then all you got to do is type in the chat "kick," and they're gone. With that being said, I think Reese, was that you that said you wanted to reply or say something?
it was me.
Oh, Ty. Okay, got to make it quick, Ty, because then I want to go to Lulu, and then I want us to get to the topic.
Yeah, I'll make it really quick and then we'll just go back. Okay. Corey, I just wanted to tell you that it's okay to not have it all figured out and have a label on it. That's what the Q is for. The Q actually stands for questioning or queer. And some people just leave it at questioning or queer, and they just leave it at that forever. And then you just do whatever you want underneath that umbrella. So I just wanted to point that out to you, that your identity is still valid, even if you don't have a label for it.
I just wanted to point out the Q for me stands for quantitative, because I'm all about that money, that Skrilla.
Sean.
Yes,
wait. What did I tell you before about those words that I don't understand?
Hey, you gonna take it as disrespect?
I'm gonna take it as disrespect every time. Okay. Lulu, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Wonderful. Lulu, can you tell us, what are your pronouns? Are you a part of the community? And what are your expectations for the community? For the community for the next 4 years under this new Trump administration?
So, hi, my name's Lulu. I mean, that's not my real name, but like that's my TikTok name.
Hey, spoiler. My real name isn't Santana. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh my gosh. I identify with she, her. I'm Pan. So yes, I'm part of the community. And I guess if I had to say expectations, I mean really just solidarity. Like I really feel like it's just solidarity and really grassroots movements to protect the community, especially those in the trans community. So I think that's all I can really ask, because I'm kind of like tired of having to do the work for the majority, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Listen, we had our panel discussion last week where welcome Bling Chick 68. Bling Chick 68 is family. Bling Chick 68, drop a comment in the chat so we can see. Bling Chick 68 can now chat. Bling Chick 68 can now chat. So guys, keep tapping the screen, get this thing up to 125,000 likes, or grab a subscription, because we are on sub only chat, because we need the likes to move. Lulu, yeah, no. The last week we had the conversation around, black people after the election, and even more so black women, and how they were tired of having to actually carry the load. So I can imagine what you're saying, and I understand exactly what you're saying as far as the overall frustration. So, okay, so Sean, I'm coming to you first. Lily, I'm coming to you next. Sean.
Yep.
Tell me about this whole pray the gay thing away. Like, what's the deal? Why is it that religion has been so weaponized against the LGBTQIA community? And why is it just so openly accepted when you talk about religion and how it's supposed to be about love and understanding and forgiveness, but yet it's used as a tool of oppression for a specific community? Wait, why the sigh?
It's because the religion is it's a huge. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that.
No, say it. Say it.
No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that.
Okay.
So, not that like I knock anyone who's religious. I used to be religious. That's a different story for a different day. But basically, the whole point of like pray the gay away means that what Christians tend to believe is that gay people, trans people, like queer people in general, anyone who's a part of the community, are being led by Satan instead of led by God. And so to pray away the temptation that Satan has laid in front of you, and your want for what they call the abominations, to have sex in a way that is an abomination, or to have a relationship, or what they call an alternative lifestyle nowadays is what they call it, and to say that it is an abomination. Most Christians don't read their Bible, and so they're just going based upon things that they don't understand themselves. But that is usually the rhetoric that they utilize in order to say, "Oh, you're gay." There's no way that is of God, so it must be of Satan. It must be of the devil, and we have to pray the devil's temptations and pray the devil's ways out of you. And so that's where you get the term "pray the gay away."
Okay. Lily,
Yes.
are you Christian? Are you religious? Anything like that?
So I originally was Catholic, and then my family became Christian around when I was about 10-ish, and now I am an atheist.
Ooh, okay. So what are your thoughts on religion being used to actually your religion being used to actually suppress, or not even suppress. I'm sorry to.
Real quick, Santana, I'm sorry. You just got a subwave.
Oh yeah, we just closed it out. W's in the chat for Mina. Mina, wait, hold on. Mina, wait, who sent it out? Someone sent it out. Someone sent it out. Someone sent it out. Who sent it out? I think it's Leilani. No, Leilani received one. Jay received one. Mina received one.
I think it was Gino who sent it out.
Who?
Gino.
Gino. W's in the chat for Gino. Thank you so much, Gino. Thank you, Gino. Okay. Lily, as someone who has been through their own religious, I don't want to say religious battle, but going from being Catholic to being Christian to being atheist, what are your thoughts around the actual religion in general being weaponized against the community?
Yeah, so I think a big thing is, a lot of churches, a lot of organizations in the religion aspect, no matter what the Bible says, they're going to teach you that being gay is a choice or being trans is a choice and it's wrong. And by being like, especially, I hate to say it, but I was at one point very homophobic and transphobic, and I will regret that forever. Me being these kinds of things was actually supposed to be helping them by showing them the way. And the pray away the gay is on the aspect that you think it's a choice. Like, I understand it's not a choice. It's so like with people are being these hateful things, they think they're actually helping because that is what they're being taught in churches. You can see it in all sorts of aspects. Like it's deeply rooted in misogyny too, where you can choose to be the stereotypical woman that should be a housewife, or you could be a, successful businesswoman, but only one of those choices is right.
That is interesting. That is absolutely interesting.
Hi.
Oh. No worries.
No, look, Syria.
Yeah, that's a whole fetus.
That was a child.
That is a whole kiddo. You cannot be on the TikTok lives. You cannot be on the TikTok lives. Yeah, that's so interesting. Before I give my thoughts, let me come to Ty. Ty, share your thoughts. What are your thoughts around quote unquote praying the gay away and basically religion being used to persecute the community?
Yeah, so I also grew up in a Southern Baptist type church. Out of everybody in my household, I would say that I actually probably had the closest relationship with the church. I used to actually go to church without the rest of my family on my own, by my own volition. I never really harbored any kind of ill will towards the LGBTQ, even before I started identifying with the community. I think that is probably a large part of the reason that I deconstructed in the first place. So I think that a lot of the issues with the church, I think it all boils back down to misogyny, in my personal opinion. Ultimately,
wait, explain that.
Yeah, so ultimately, a lot of the things that the church uses to minimize the queer experience are actually not things that were initially in the Bible. A lot of it is stuff that the Catholic Church put in, hundreds of years ago, whenever they were trying to make pagan people stop being pagan and all of that stuff. And I think all of it really comes back to, whenever queer men aren't behaving the way that men are expected to behave, they have to be put back in their place. And when women don't exist on this world to satisfy men, those women have to be put back in their place. And whenever you have women waltzing around acting like they're men, and this is just quotation, right? This is not me saying that trans people aren't valid, but
right. I get what you're saying. You're speaking from their perspective.
Right. I'm saying I think that their perspective is when women aren't acting like women and men aren't acting like men, according to what they think women and men are supposed to act like, it messes up the patriarchy. And so I think that honestly, a lot of it is rooted in patriarchy, and the Bible is just a tool to meet that end. Because whenever you're threatened with the idea of hell, it's significantly scarier than just some random ass human telling you that it's unacceptable for you to be gay.
Okay. I'm about to come to Corey, but guys, we're at 90,000 likes again. Keep tapping the screen. As soon as we get up to 125,000 likes, we will open the chat back up. You can either go ahead and grab a subscription. We only need 9 more subscriptions to close out our sub goal for the night. So you can grab a subscription, or you can keep tapping the screen and get this thing up to 125,000 likes. Also, guys, we still got $245 left in the nightly donation goal. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to actually support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And please don't forget about Sean, because Sean is on the panel laboring with us. And Sean, we are getting into the whole topic about praying away the gay. With that being said, Corey, give me your thoughts on it.
I think I am very privileged. I have parents who are super supportive. So while I did grow up sort of in the church, we weren't like in the church, so I'm very privileged in that I don't have a lot of experience with that. I have friends who do, but I don't feel comfortable speaking on their behalf. So I recognize the harm. I just wasn't harmed. So it's hard for me to speak on that in particular.
Got it. Okay, that's perfectly understandable. Thank you, Corey. Last but not least, Lulu. Give me your thoughts, please, if you don't mind, about, quote unquote, pray the gay away and how religion has been used to actually oppress the LGBTQIA community.
So I grew up in the church. I never actually really thought about it till everyone here was bringing it up about if the church that I was going to was Southern Baptist or not, since the family members who really brought the children and stuff into the church were from the South, but I grew up in Southern California, so I never really thought of it like that. I just thought, okay, we're Christian, but not what, aspect of it. I did see, it was kind of weird, like, I think it's a factor of white supremacy and patriarchy, because being Black, I would hear my family repeat stuff that if you just took out the LGBTQIA community and put Black instead, it would just sound racist. And I think for patriarchy, I think everyone else was hitting it on the nail on the head, that it's a way of, well, women can do what they want while they're young, but at some point they need to buck up and do what they got to do, which is have children. And then the men sort of see women as the next class down that still has authority over the home. But they have now expanded their territory. Like, think of it like a princess in a castle, right? If that's your princess, then that is your land, because she presides over that land. She is the queen, she is the princess or whatever. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then her children, which are your children, which are your property, for you to dictate what they think, what they believe, where they go in life, what's acceptable to conquer, right? So that's, what profession, what job field, how you identify, how you represent the family name, because we're kind of removed from that generationally. Like, nobody cares what your last name is, really. But a lot of our late older Gen Xers really still believe that your last name holds a lot of weight, and so how your children hold on to your last name means a lot.
Yeah.
And so I think that, seeing it as children as an expanse of power, growing up, what I would hear a lot of my very religious family members, as well as other white supremacist type people, would be upset at those from Mexico coming over, because they're like, oh, they're just having a lot of kids.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to buy up all this stuff. They're going to this, they're going to that. They're getting in my space. They're taking my my potential capital, which is like their right of ownership over parts of land. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And from what I understand, religion to have been used for during, in slavery, was to say this book justifies your condition, and only through adhering to this book, which is really just adhering to white supremacy, will you gain access to power and freedom and salvation from your condition. But the condition you are in is a righteous one. It is your place in this world. So it's why, people will say they don't have problems with, gay people, or just as as the community, colloquially speaking.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a problem with them, just don't get in my face about it. Right? It's the same, I don't care what faith you believe in, just don't shove yours in my face. Or, oh, I don't care, we are a nation of immigrants, but keep America, America.
Yeah.
It all falls in. It's the same standard. It's a continuation, I think, of the Southern strategy of conditioning people into, Christian white nationalism. So.
Lulu, you're a genius. You just made me realize something. I think that you are completely right. I think that in part, it's a part of the displacement theory. I think displacement theory plays a role here. Because who has a problem with immigrants moving into the country? It's YT people, but mostly Southern YT people. And what are they afraid of? They're afraid that people of color will replace the YT community in the US. And I think that similarly, the same thought process is occurring in regards to the queer community. I think that they're legitimately afraid that we're going to replace all of the straight, heteronormative people in the country. Because if you talk to somebody, if you ask them how many transgender people are in our country, how many gay people are in our country, do you know that people really think that it's like a third of our country is transgender right now? I've watched so many interviews from conservatives and from cisgender people that are asked how many transgender people they think are in the country, and they literally think it's a third.
Yeah, I can absolutely believe that, and it's super interesting because I was listening to a live the other day, right? And it's always an issue of either willful ignorance or being intellectually dishonest, right? I think that's what we come down to, right? I was listening to a live the other day, and there was a guy who was basically talking about transgender rights and talking about how kids shouldn't get gender affirming care. And he cited a source that the reason why he feels that way is because he knows plenty of trans people who are, I don't know the proper term for it, I can't remember what the term is, but basically who regret the decision of becoming trans, and they're, I guess, trying to transition back or whatever.
Detransitioners.
Yes. So this is what he said. This is when I called him in a lie, right? This is when I called him in a lie. and they called him out. He said they were like, well, where are you getting this information from? What study are you getting this information from? Like, what source are you getting this information from so we can verify it? And he was like, oh, it's people that I know. And they were like, well, okay, how many detransitioning? Is that right?
Yeah, detransitioners.
How many detransitioners do you know? My man said 15.
15 detransitioners.
I said, boy, you a lie. Matter of fact, what I said was,
why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop you fucking lying.
15?
Ain't no damn.
That's so funny. 15 is crazy work.
15.
No, 15 is insane. Like, I'm in the community. I'm a trans woman, and I do shit out in the streets. I don't know 15 detransitioners.
I don't know any detransitioners.
Yeah, but my whole thing is, and I started to think, like, how many actual, like, in my everyday life, if I wasn't a part of, TikTok in this community, like, how many trans people would I actually know, right? And for someone who is just a normal person, right, and you're not a part of the community, you might know a few people who are trans, but the idea of knowing, like, I can't even really say I got 15 friends. And you telling me that you know 15 trans people? Stop it. Like, but that was a flat out lie.
This is the whole thing here for me. Whereas I do know, I know a detransitioner. I only know one detransitioner. But the problem is that, like, the rarest of the rare detransitioners are detransitioners because they regret transitioning. The person that I know who is a detransitioner ran out of money. Like, that is the reason that person is detransitioning, because they cannot afford to go through sexual reassignment surgery and go through withdrawals with their job and how much money that they make, because they don't make enough money basically to live. And so they're detransitioning because they can no longer afford the treatment. And that is one of the bigger things, along with family disapproval and whatever else. It's usually societal factors that cause people to detransition. If you know a detransitioner, there is like a 90% chance, and I'm not even fucking with you, there's like a 90% chance that person is detransitioning, either because of funds or either because of a lack of support system, and they can't deal with that anymore. Like, their mental health can't deal with their family being blatantly transphobic towards them anymore. They rather just mask in a body that's uncomfortable to them. Go ahead.
So sorry, Sean. I think the closest that I've ever come to knowing a detransitioner is actually myself. And that's because at one point I was identifying as a trans man, because, of course, as a non-binary trans masc person, it's really confusing to kind of figure out where I fit in that scale. And so for quite a while, I was going by he, him pronouns exclusively, and actually changed my name, in fact. And I ended up walking that back because I felt like that was a little bit further than I really intended to go. I didn't actually Sorry, Sean?
I just said, yeah.
I think that that's another thing that happens too, where whenever people are more on the non-binary scale, they end up having to walk that back a little bit. But yeah, no, studies actually show that the majority of detransitioners, it has nothing to do with regretting their choices to transition, and has everything to do with societal consequences and or funds, like Sean said.
Yeah. No,
exactly this. And it's so rare. Do you know that gender reassignment surgery, or sexual reassignment surgery, where someone goes through like what we call a full transition in today's society, has less regret than knee surgery. People who get knee surgery to get a new knee so they can walk regret their knee surgery and regret being able to walk more than trans people regret sexual reassignment surgery.
Well, and I also think that there's a really problematic misconception with cisgendered straight people, anyways, that all transgender people do all reassignment things. So, like, not all transgender people want to have bottom surgery or top surgery or start hormones. Like, it's completely dependent on the trans person. Some trans women, they don't feel like it's necessary to have bottom surgery, and some trans women want bottom surgery really bad. Some
Yes,
trans
that's right. That's right.
I'm sorry?
That's right. I'm with you in this
Yeah.
point.
Okay.
Yeah, and like
hold on one second, friend. You haven't been introduced. I'm gonna put you back on mute for a moment, okay?
No problem.
All right.
So
Go ahead
to
and finish
be
your sentence, Ty.
potentially, yeah, so to be potentially a little bit TMI, but to kind of, just give a look behind the curtain. Somebody like me, for example, bottom surgery is not something that I would ever consider for myself. I don't experience gender dysphoria generally. However, I do experience gender euphoria. Whenever I see certain kinds of things in the community. And that's how I know what types of gender affirming care I should probably seek for myself. Because when I see those things on other people, they feel right to me. So for me personally, gender affirming care, what that would look like for me would not be bottom surgery, but it might be top surgery and hormones. Whereas for my partner might consider doing top surgery someday and just doing laser hair removal, and that would be gender affirming care for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I would like to introduce.
No, friend, I haven't introduced you yet. Give me a minute. We got other people on the panel. I'm coming back to you, but you gotta hold tight. Hawk, how are you?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's going on?
Hey, so Hawk, I appreciate you coming up because I know you are a fountain of knowledge, and I really wanted to get your opinion on the whole standpoint as far as religion being used as a tool of oppression to actually harm the LGBTQIA community. And if you don't mind, I'm actually ask you to pull double duty.
Okay.
I would like to hear not only how religion has been used to persecute the community, but if you can sprinkle in a little bit about how religion has been also used to oppress the black community as well, because I feel like those two things are somewhat related. Can you speak on both of those for me?
I can give it a shot. I knew you were going to go there.
You knew I was going to go there.
We can start with the fact that when black people in this country were slaves and the slave owners decided to allow them to practice this religion, they only let them read certain passages of the Bible. They didn't give them a whole Bible. Right? They only gave them the passages that would remind them that they were slaves and that they should be subservient to their masters and stuff like that. They didn't give them the whole Bible. So that was the beginnings of that for how they used it against black people. The issue overall, and this has been going on to the level that it is now since around the 70s or whatever, but they've weaponized Christianity against pretty much all marginalized groups, right? I also put in the chat that part of what, I'm not sure who it was saying this earlier, whatever, how they were using it against the community, but it's also the reason why a lot of this AB stuff has come about or whatever. What she was talking about was, if I remember correctly, the great replacement theory. And that's the issue. That's why that abortion thing is such a thing. They need to replace all of these white bodies because they know in not too long in the future, I think the last number I saw was 2030, that all of the minority groups will outnumber the white community in this country. And they're definitely afraid of that. So they've weaponized Christianity to go after all of these marginalized groups, especially the LGBTQIA community, especially the trans community within the LGBTQIA. They have members of the LGBTQIA community going after trans members who are part of their community. They've got them fighting amongst each other. So yes, they've absolutely weaponized Christianity. Look, the whole thing about a man not sleeping with a man in the Bible, that's a purposeful misquote that wasn't put in the Bible until like 1947. Right? These are the things that they're doing to use it to their ends. They didn't like something, so they made sure that they translated the Bible to say what they wanted it to say. That's weaponization.
That part.
Absolutely is, and that's something that I speak on when I have that whole conversation. Yeah, I knew you could do it. I absolutely knew you could do it. That's why I brought you up here. I appreciate you so much.
I do read a book every now and then.
Hey, there's a guy the other night told me tomorrow I don't read, and just like said it with his whole chest,
I heard that.
Yeah, like the ignorance was yeah. Anyway, let me do this. Debbie's in the chat for Corey. Corey sent a $5 donation to go towards the nightly donation goal. Guys, massive W's in the chat for Corey. Thank you, Corey. Guys, that means we're only $240 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. So if you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And please don't forget about Sean, because Sean is up here laboring with me, and I feel like we are about to labor, Sean. I something gives me the impression that we're about to labor.
Let's real quick before we do labor, let's get everybody to tap the screen. Everyone, take your finger.
Should like.
Hold on. I promise you, I'm coming to you. Just hold tight 1 second. I'm
let's get.
I'm coming to you next. Go ahead and finish, Sean. Sean, I told you we were about to labor.
Of course. Everyone tap the screen. We want to protect the live. We want to share the live out to your 10 most. I would say your 10 most problematic followers, but today we not sparring with Santana. Today we're just discussion. So send it out to your 10 most curious followers. How about that?
Yeah.
And hit the pay links, and I don't want to work the mods to death, but I like polls. So if y'all could bring up like some funny polls and get the live engagement going, like that'll be so lit. That'll be so lit.
That would.
And if you send me a $2 super chat, I'll read whatever you want me to say or answer whatever you want me to say in my Cash App, for the low price of $1.99.
I know that's right. Let's make it happen. All right. Is your username Hakus? How do you say your username?
You speak it Hakush.
Hakush. Okay, perfect. Hakush. What are your pronouns? Are you a part of the community? And what are your expectations?
I'm an ally.
Okay, but let me get through the questions. What are and this is the questions that I ask everyone. What are your pronouns? What are you a part of the community, and what is your expectation for the LGBTQIA community for the next 4 years under the Trump administration?
So my pronouns are, I'm sorry, English is my third language,
No
so
worries.
please don't judge.
No worries.
My pronouns are like he and him,
Mm-hmm.
like the usual cis men pronouns, and I am not a part of the LGBTQ community, but I am an ally. I go to protests in Germany against far right politicians. We have also a problem in Germany with the far right is on the rise, and I hope that the LGBTQ community can withstand the Trump administration. Maybe they can fight back. Maybe they have to leave. I don't know. It's a very hard topic, because I don't think that Trump will have good. We all of us know that Trump has very, very bad plans for the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, no, listen, I absolutely agree with that. I think that, and let's not get it twisted, right? I mean, the whole the whole thought process behind this is it's not I'm not just speaking to the LGBT LGBTQIA community, it's just their week, right? And I told Sean this, and I told everybody that we're tackling all the marginalized groups, and I feel like
Nice, bro. Nice.
yeah, I think there needs to be an understanding of what's going to happen under the Trump administration with all of these groups. And it looked like we lost Brandon. I was just about to introduce Brandon. But yeah, so I guess. Oh, we had him. There we go. Had an echo. So let me come back to you one more time, and I guess the question I have for you, because we were just recently speaking on how religion has been weaponized to actually oppress the community. Would you like to speak on that?
Yeah, of course. In Germany, it's also really weird. I know that in America, the religious Christians are very anti-LGBTQI+. In Germany, the religious people, they tend to vote for the conservatives, but not for the far right, you know? It's a bit different. Like the religious Christians in Germany, they aren't so much against the LGBTQI community, but still there are some that are considering it a sin and are against it, the extreme people. But I think it's a big problem in America. I watch international news, and I think it's crazy. It's crazy what's going on in America right now. Really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It is a friend, it's a trying time for us in the old US of A. And
yeah, and we fear the same. We fear the same, brother.
Hey,
we fear the same.
I know this isn't on topic, but panel chat, just the whole time. I just got to get this question off. I'm sorry. Does everybody else in Germany thinks that Trump is trying to be the new Hitler? Like, do you guys see that as well?
Yeah. We have like the AfD, and they want to be like the new N party, you know, and they don't show themselves as like extremist, but everybody knows that they are extreme. They try to say like, no, we are conservative, we are democratic, but it's all a lie. Like, but the people believe the lies. It's the same like in America. I think that Trump, I heard about the plan he has. What was it called?
Project 2025.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible, and I fear that the same is going on in Germany. Germany wants to our government now allowed how is it called, abortions, and the new government will likely be the CDU, which is like the not far right, but still right party, which are against abortions, against gay rights, against women's rights, and they are the two strongest party, and we fear the same. We fear the same for our women, for our ethnic minorities, for our non-binary persons, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
all right, go back on mute for me just a moment, please, my friend.
Okay, no problem, man.
Sean.
Yeah.
I miss every time somebody throw me a curveball, cause I darn sure missed on that one.
Why? What you mean?
I thought we were about to labor.
Oh, then you're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
This is what I want to do. I want to hit one of our other topics, right? I would really like to get into one of our other topics.
Which one?
Just give me a sec. I will come back. Have a nice talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, man, it was nice speaking to you. I like to speak to like-minded people because on TikTok there are so many brain-dead people, and I appreciate you. And I hope I will see you soon.
Yeah,
Have a nice talk.
Listen,
can I ask?
Thank you.
Can I ask what time it is? Where are you?
So I'm on the West Coast, so it's 10 p.m.
Oh,
for
wow.
me.
It's 7 a.m. here in Germany.
What part of Germany are you in?
Near Cologne in Western Germany.
Okay.
Like near the Netherlands, you know?
Oh, okay, near the Netherlands. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay, well, yeah, come back. We start at, I guess that means we would start at like 5 a.m. your time, and we normally go until about 8 a.m. your time.
Okay. Thank you for the
We
information.
do different topics. This week it's this topic.
Just like me.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you would definitely enjoy the topics we cover.
And guys, I don't want to make how is it called? I heard that you need 400 followers to make a live stream on your own, and I am nearly at the 400 followers mark. And I would really appreciate every follow, and I also follow back. I don't want to beg, but I would really appreciate it. And I am really close to the 400 followers, so I can do my own lives. And then I don't always have to join only the other people, you know?
Well, listen, let me read this off. W's in the chat for Corey. Corey actually sent another $5 donation and said that she actually sent you the invite to join, and said that you're really cool, which apparently you really are, and said that you were on Chris Live, which is my brother, and you were really cool. And with that being said, I'm actually going to give you a follow. So there's that. Guys, let's give our friend a follow. He's actually at 346. Hold tight one moment. He's at 367. Guys, we just need like 33 people to follow him, and we can get him up to 400. So can we? Yeah, all you got to do is click on the picture on his box, and then it gives you the little plus sign to add him. So, guys, can we just listen? A follow is free. He also came up here, and he played your old boy Santana, because I didn't think he was going to say what he said, and he said some cool shit. So, can we go ahead and follow him and get him up to 400 followers, please?
Thank you very much, bro.
Hold on, we're almost there. We're at 392. Come on, guys. Come on, we can do better than that.
I follow all of you back.
All you got to do is tap his picture and hit the red plus, and that gives him a follow. Let's go ahead and get him over 400 likes, because I would love to actually join his live. If you would have me someday. They keep changing.
Yeah, man.
They keep changing.
It is. We're at
'Cause
400.
I thought it was a thousand.
It varies by country.
Yeah, it does.
It varies by country. Different countries have different limits.
Yep.
Yeah, they do.
there
Real quick,
you go.
I want W's in the chat for the chat. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. You guys engage with the live. You're so amazing. Thank you guys.
And also one last thing, my profile picture also have a deep meaning. Free the Uyghurs, which are oppressed from China, and also free all oppressed people. You know, like the people in Russia, the Kafkas people, the real Caucasians from the Caucasus. Thank you very much for the hearts.
Friend, you're gonna have to come back. I like you.
I'm like a socialist Democrat, you know. So that's how I would describe myself, you know.
Yeah.
In America, my favorite politician is Bernie Sanders.
I freaking love Bernie. That's my guy.
Yeah, man, that's my guy, really.
Yeah. Okay, well, listen, you're over 410 now, so welcome to the
Thank you very much. I will follow all of you back.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Maybe I will come back in a few minutes.
Yeah,
I have to talk to my.
Absolutely. We'll be here to the top of the hour.
You, Santana Jones, brother.
Yeah.
I'm thankful, and thank you so much.
Thank you
for this. Because I never.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done. I'm sorry. That's on me. My bad. I'm sorry. That was on me. Sean, stuff like that makes me happy. Like, it genuinely makes me happy.
That's what's up.
Because,
That's what's up.
like okay, donating is one thing or whatever, and but like when you do the free things and people do the free things in the nice ways, that's always super awesome.
No, the free things are amazing. This is why I've been watching, and I want everybody. This is gonna be the last plug. We're gonna get into some real topics, and I'm not gonna allow another commercial break for at least another 30 minutes. Absolutely. All right. So I want everybody to follow Santana Jones on or subscribe to Santana Jones on YouTube.
On the YouTube
right now, he's live on the stream. Like we're live on the stream on YouTube. It's just Santana Jones. I want y'all to go ahead and subscribe to that. And if you feel like it, go ahead and give me a sub. I haven't put up a lot of YouTube videos, but I promise when I get better internet, I absolutely will. I've been honing in on my video editing skills. And I want to talk about media from a leftist perspective.
Absolutely. And Sean promised the other day to start RedTube. So there's that. Anyway.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo, chill out. Chill out.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Let's see. Leanne, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. I saw you live and I just decided I'd pop in.
Hey, welcome. This is a really chill night, so I'm happy to have you. So you're here. I need you to join into the conversation. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and then I'm going to go to the other person and introduce them as well. But can you tell the people, what are your pronouns? Are you a part of the community? And what are your expectations for the LGBTQIA community over the next 4 years under the Trump administration?
Yeah, so for everyone here, I go by she, her, hers. The next question was...
are you a part of the community?
Am I a part of it? I am not a part of it, but I am an ally to it. And then the third one is, what do I expect? I personally, I don't expect the LGBTQ to do much, especially since I myself am cis. But I just, I expect everyone from the LGBTQ community just to get along with each other, just to treat each other with respect, because I feel like everyone deserves respect.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Of course.
All right. Social. What is that?
Social Dim Andy.
Social Dim Andy.
Yes.
Social.
Yes.
What are your pronouns? Are you a part of the community? And what are your expectations for the community over these next 4 years under the Trump administration?
Yes. He, him. And yes, I am a part of the community. I am bisexual.
Okay.
Also, my expectation is that I do feel like we need, especially under the Trump presidency, we need to be advocating for universal health care, in the sense that the model that Norway, Denmark, Finland, Sweden, those types of models, that's what we need to be striving for. And it is very much, I do believe that it is very much a LGBT issue, because healthcare is a human issue, and we are humans.
Mm-hmm. Listen, so I'm gonna say this, right? I agree, but I just don't see that one happening. It's just, golly. I mean, like, if we have, in my opinion, we have never been further from universal health care under this Trump administration. I
agree. I agree, actually, but I still believe it needs to be advocated for.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I believe that now more than ever, especially with what's going on with the UHC CEO getting, I believe that opens the door for the conversation. And I'm not saying that under a Trump presidency, but 2028, et cetera, et cetera. So I believe that now is the perfect time to educate the population. But that I'll leave it there.
Okay. Perfect. So this is where I want to go, right? And this is for everybody on the panel. And what I really want to do is just kind of open it up for an open forum. And I want to start with Sean, but after Sean, whoever wants to speak, feel free to jump in. But Sean, I want you to start off this conversation, and I want us to get back into the thought process, or not thought process, but the topic of equal rights to marriage, right? And I know that at least here in the United States, marriage it serves multiple purposes, right? Some people just want to get married. Or actually, I want to go Sean, and then I want to go to Ty, because Ty is actually doing something super cool on January the 6th. So Ty, I want you to talk about that, but then I also want to go to you, and then we'll just go from there. But can you speak on the topic of equal rights to marriage? Why is it so important, and why is it something that is in jeopardy, especially with this incoming administration?
Yeah. So, marriage gives you a bunch of benefits underneath the system that we live under, and it gives you and like your partner a lot of things that you'd be able to do within not just tax write-offs, but also you have the power of authority over your partner. And for a person like me, if I was married to someone, if I was to get married today, the person who would like coordinate my funeral and figure out like whether or not I'd be cremated, or if I'd be buried, and if I'd be buried, like what I would be buried in and how I would present as I was being buried, would be my partner, rather than whoever is within your family as like your primary like emergency contacts. So maybe your mother, father, or whatever. And some people do have supportive mothers and fathers, so that's not an issue. But most trans people and just queer people in general do not. And so there are things where it's there are things where, like, if you and your partner are together, even if you're just gay, let's say you're not trans, your family can tell you where it is, or not tell you, but your family can tell your insurance company where it is that you're going to be buried. And it can be very far away from the people who you've actually built community with, or even the person who you love. And if you can't marry that person, they have no say whatsoever. There's so many more things that affect people's lives, even on a day-to-day basis, outside of just like power of attorney or just like tax write-offs or anything. But those are two like of the big things. Yeah, so where do you want to? I want to ask you a question because I have a lot to say about this, but I'm going to cut it short here. Yeah, I want to ask you,
Okay.
where do you want this particular subject to go tonight?
Listen, I just thought you was gonna tell everybody that equal rights to marriage means nobody should be married because marriage. I'm just joking. No,
Marriage is marriage is
Listen,
cruel and unusual
I
punishment.
got a whole wife in the other room, so I'm gonna chill out. No, I just like more so I wanted to have the conversation around like I don't want to dictate it. I don't want to dictate it, but I do want to really make sure that we're digging into the meaning, not just the sentimental meaning, but the actual legal meanings behind why marriage is so important, and why is it an actual a possibility that those rights can be taken away under this next administration, because I do honestly I feel like they're coming for a lot of different rights, and equal marriage is just one of those rights that they're coming for.
hmm Yeah, I mean, there's the slippery slope. I'm going to cut it real short here, and we can go in a little deeper later. I want everyone else to get a chance to say something. There is also the slippery slope thing, and that's not really a fallacy when we're dealing with the powers that be that we have, like today in today's administrations, because we've seen them go after one thing and then go after another thing and then go after another thing. And they've already said what they plan to do with these things. So it's not far-fetched to believe that they want to get rid of these things altogether, which would get rid of all of the benefits that these things bring to people. But there's also just all the things that I mentioned, but just simply the expression of a person. Like we come up in a world, like me personally, I don't know if I'll ever actually get married, like with a legal document. But we come up in a world in which like marriage is one of the most important things you can do with a person. If you fall in love with someone, say you're monogamous, you fall in love with someone and you want to marry that person, not being able to do that is oppressive. Like it's just that plain and simple. Like not being able to be with the person that you want to be with simply because of your sexual orientation is bonkers. Like that is oppression.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Ty, I want to come to you. I was gonna after Ty, I want to open it up for the entire panel, and you guys we can kind of talk through this. But I specifically wanted to come to Ty because Ty, I want you to share your opinion, and then I would love for you to tell everybody about the cool thing that you're doing on January the 6th. Yes, January the 6th. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, sure. So I agree with everything that Sean said. I think that what oppressing queer people and their marriage reminds me of is specifically the way that interracial marriage was discriminated against as well. Of course, I think that there's intersectionality to that, but specifically talking about like specifically talking about.
You okay?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was on. I was off mute.
Okay. All right. Okay. Go ahead, Ty. Throw that ass. I don't know if that's what she said, but that's what it sounded like.
I think that the oppression of queer people really falls in line with that same type of oppression that interracial marriages saw. But to the means of fighting that, in Texas on January 6th, I am hosting a peaceful protest at the State Capitol building on the lawn of the Austin State Capitol building. Starting at 10 a.m. on January 6th, I will be marrying any couples that show up. I will be officiating the weddings of any couples that show up to the lawn, whether they be queer, straight, or lavender. And I will be doing that until every couple is married. So anybody who wants to get married before this new administration takes over, anybody who wants to make their marriage a statement, they're all welcome to show up. There's actually a video about it. My most recent video on my page is about it, so definitely go check it out, people. Share it. I'm trying to make it big, so anybody that wants to follow along, please send me a follow. Please share my video. And of course, I have a Discord actually for the protest. It's in the links in my bio. There's also an event on Facebook, so all of the updates for that event will be in the Discord and on my Facebook event. And it's specifically to protest the fact that this new administration is a threat to queer marriages. And to tack on to what Sean said, in addition to like what happens whenever you pass or whenever you have like medical emergencies and stuff, on top of that, marriage also gives your spouse rights to your to the things that you leave behind when you pass. So if you pass away and you have life insurance, if your marriage is not substantiated through law, then your family members can claim your life insurance money and your spouse cannot.
Yep.
Or any of your assets, really. They can claim all of your assets by virtue of being related to you, whereas the law doesn't recognize your relation to your spouse.
Yep, absolutely. That's something that I really wanted to get into, and we will go into that a little bit more. Listen, Hey, Sean, I don't know if you've noticed this about me yet, but I got the attention span of a goldfish. Did you notice that?
I know a little bit.
Yeah. Also, I got a mind on me. Sean, didn't she say throw that ass? Tell me you didn't hear it. She said throw that ass, didn't she?
I heard hush.
It did sound like she said that. It did sound like that.
I would like to say I heard throw that ass too.
I heard exactly. Hold on.
Throw that.
Exactly.
You guys are hearing different things. I heard something about someone shut up.
No. Okay, hold on.
I heard
I
ghost.
think we're just being gaslit.
No,
right now.
no, hold on.
We're being gaslit.
Hawk. Did you hear throw that ass?
My hearing aid was turned down. I ain't hear nothing.
She said,
Oh,
or
she
they said, Buddha hush. I knew it.
No, okay.
I saw her
hold
gush.
on. How do I do a poll? Mods, put a poll in the chat. As a matter of fact, hold on. Let me do a quick poll. Because I know how to do the quick poll.
I didn't think it was throw that ass until Santana said something.
Hold on.
Then I was like,
yeah,
oh,
exactly.
you're talking about that.
Hold on.
Who said Buddha hush?
No. Hold on. We're going to do a poll.
I just want to say that I'm highly amused by this turn of events.
Okay. All right. I just started the poll. There's a poll. Wait, I think it's a poll. Is it a poll? Did I do it right?
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. Okay, hold on. There we go. We got 3 minutes. I need everybody to vote on it. What was said? Was it throw that ass or Buddha hush?
It's not on the TikTok.
It is on the TikTok.
Yes, it's here.
Oh, the panel
see
can't
it.
do
Yes,
it. The
there.
panel
Okay.
can't do it. The panel can't do it.
Wait, no,
Yeah, you
I
can.
was able to
panel.
do it.
I was able to do
I can
it.
see it.
It's like
I
right
can
below
do
where
it.
it says your name.
Oh, yeah. It's right below where right below my name.
What?
Right above where it says host. If you click on the little
Right.
thing.
One thing I've been wanting to ask. I have been wanting to ask a panel about this, what their thoughts are on this.
Wait,
But-
are we talking about throwing that ass?
I don't like to be
No.
gaslit.
Okay, because if we're not talking about throwing that ass, you got to hold on for a minute.
Okay.
Because I know.
We'll vote on it.
Santana, it was Buddha
We'll get the vote
hush.
in.
She said throw that ass.
She said Buddha
Yeah,
hush.
I
Stop
agree.
gaslighting people.
I heard it.
You
I feel like
heard
I'm
wrong.
being gaslit. I
Ain't
feel like
no
I'm
way.
being gaslit right now.
I think
Like
we need
she's
a
in the chat
confirmation.
and we still don't know.
Wait, they're still voting. Guys, let's knock out this poll. Hold on now, because we only got 34 votes. There's 200 something people here. Guys, take the poll. I need everybody to take the poll. Listen, she yelled, throw that ass.
Above where it says, I'm going to tell them where the poll is. Above where it says host, you'll see a countdown. It says 1 minute and 20 seconds. And it's counting down. Click on that timer. That's where you'll see the poll.
Oh, damn it, I meant to put this up too. Hold on. I forgot to start the countdown clock.
Well, don't start it right now. They get confused with the countdown.
Oh, damn it. Okay, I'll wait. We got
And
less
you're
than a
losing,
minute.
Santana.
Hold on. Listen, chat, lock in. I need y'all to take that poll because I know y'all heard her say throw that ass. I am not the only one. I am not the only one that heard that.
Thank you,
am
Luna.
not. No.
Thank you, Luna.
I'm with
Luna
you
is
on
an
that one.
advocate for Buddha hush,
No.
and I am with them.
Ain't no way. Guys, this is so close. You know what? Matter of fact, stop the count. Stop it.
What? Wait,
Stop
hold
the count. How
on.
do I stop this poll?
Hold on.
How do I
You
stop
can't.
this poll? Yeah, I
No.
can.
You can't stop
No.
the count when
Wait,
you lose
I bet you I
it.
can.
Come on.
Hold on.
You know, you will.
Hold on.
You can't do this to us. This is top 8 gaslighting.
Boom.
Stop it.
Hey, I'm claiming voter fraud here.
Hold on. It said
Listen,
This is a
I agree. I
democracy.
look at
demand
the
a
results.
recount.
Well,
Look at the
at the
results.
time he ended the poll, he was still losing, so he lost.
You know what?
I demand
You know
a
what?
recount.
You know what?
Paper polls?
You know what? Hold on, chat. It's time for the stop the steal. They're trying to steal the poll,
Wow.
and I need the chat to fight like hell. I need you
Wow.
guys
Somebody get
to
the
fight
governor on
like
the phone.
hell.
Santana, this is what we're doing now?
Yeah, because they're trying to steal my poll. Somebody, no, don't keep voting. I stopped the poll. I stopped it. I stopped. I stopped the count.
Someone said Santana, aka Trump.
Was getting compared to Trump on your bingo card for 2024, Santana?
Listen, if you ever saw my bingo card, you would be shocked. I mean, I got all kind of wild stuff on it, so nothing is outside of the norm for me. Let me turn on this 30-minute counter so I can make sure I try to keep my promise.
Are we still
listen,
on the...
Migwan, what happened was, for some reason, Gosh came off of mute and yelled, "Throw that ass!" And so, I mean, we're just there. That's it.
She did not.
Okay. Gosh, come off mute and tell the chat that you said throw that ass.
Okay, so I said Buddha hush, but in to help you out, Santana, he's back there scratching on his butt on my house. So typically, yeah, he's twerking. So yeah, I would tell him to stop throwing that ass.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I gotta do it. Hold on 1 second. Hey Alexa, volume 7. Hey Alexa, play "Throw That Ass in a Circle."
Here's Throw That Ass in a Circle by Lil Ronnie Muffet on Amazon Music.
Can you guys say that? Hey! 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 Hey Alexa, stop. I just hurt my back. God damn. Whew. Oh, I'm getting too old for this. Okay. Where were we? Because we were being serious. Sean, how could you let me go off? Sean, I blame this one on you. You let me go way off the rails.
I'm not the one who said throw that ass.
Listen, you know what? You're right.
I'm not the one who did that.
Can I bring us back into some substance?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Amazing.
Go ahead.
So, one thing I'm concerned about. I'm an educator, by the way, and I teach at a Title I. I'm really worried. I'm terrified, actually, of what that means for the Title I students. Of the Trump presidency means for a Title I students, given that Trump has said that he's going to end the Department of Education. I have not really been able to find real clear answers of what that means for special education students in particular that have IEPs, because I do know that the Department of Education does regulate, or like they actually have regulation and like can go after people who are not following and accommodating people who are not following those IEPs. So I'm just like, I guess that's what I'm really worried about right now.
Okay.
And I don't know. It's scary.
So let me say this. And I know I took us off on a bit of a tangent. So that's on me. So I'll allow us to go ahead and kind of speak to this if Sean or Hawk or anyone has any specific knowledge. But with this week specifically, we are talking about the LGBTQIA community in Trump's America, not necessarily the Department of Education. But I will give you this as well, because you spoke to special needs, right?
Honestly, I believe it's interconnected as well.
Well, hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying.
sorry, my bad.
Let me finish what I'm saying. I will give you this. Since I took us off on the tangent and got us off track, I will let you know because the thing that I've been saying is we're targeting marginalized communities, right?
Mm.
We're targeting marginalized communities with our topics. And one of our topics, I'm not going to say when, but it's going to speak to not only people of special needs that will be affected by the Trump administration, but people with disabilities and things along those lines. So you're absolutely right; they are kind of interconnected. It's not the focus of tonight, but they are interconnected. But Sean, Hawk, do either one of you have any information that you could possibly share on that? Because I mean, genuinely, I'm sorry, I don't have any firsthand knowledge at the moment on that.
I mean, I don't think. Well, I taught as well. I don't think we have an answer. We can only speculate at this point. But to me, it seems like it would be just like Roe. It would go back to the states to regulate what is now being federally regulated. In which case, we know a lot of these red states or whatever, it would probably just go away.
Okay.
I will say that I agree that it is intersectional here, and let me explain why.
And it definitely is. That's why. Well, okay. Never mind. No, Ty. Don't explain why, and I'll send you a message and tell you why I'm telling you not to explain why. But no, don't explain why.
Okay. All right. Heard.
Okay.
Can I jump in on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I've been thinking about, what everyone brought up, but I really feel like a good focus for all of us, especially in marginalized communities and allies of those communities, is to, like I had mentioned earlier, grassroots organizing. But social democrat, is that your name? I can't see.
Yes. Social demanding.
Demanding. Sorry, it's it cut off. But about it also being a healthcare issue, I think for sure, with recent events, it has really blurred the lines. So I work in corrections. I work at a prison, and it's like a reflection of the government itself, of the country itself. Does that make sense? Like it's a tiny government, it's a tiny country, on its own. And what I see, and it's a women's prison too, so women's health and women's issues has really been in the forefront for me lately. But what I noticed is that for the population's side, their biggest gripe with the trans community at the facility, whether they're trans men or trans women, they don't really have an issue with people who are gay, who are non-binary and whatnot. They don't have an issue with them. They have an issue with trans women specifically, but in that it has been a topic of focus, and they aren't mad at them as individuals. They're mad at the healthcare they perceive them to be receiving disproportionately than them. So their access to gender affirming care, while they can't get much requested years-long waiting to get back surgery, things like that. And this all took place back in 2018, but that also gave the facility a lot of resources for Black women who weren't getting hair care products that they needed, or more funding for the baby program and things like that. Like, there's so much more resources that came to the facility along with gender affirming care, but the healthcare still sucks. And I think that's really like where we are at as like a country. A lot of us are living paycheck to paycheck, or basically swirling in a bowl of debt. People in the facility, they either don't have money, or they're like earning $1 an hour, and that's like slave wages. Mm-hmm. So how are they going to buy food for themselves other than the slop that like is available from the facility? It's getting better, but it's still not where it should be. You still have the classism from staff and stuff. Like, I've heard people go, "Oh, where are our water fountains?" And I'm like, are you fucking serious? I'm like, you could just, it's a water fountain. Like, I get water out of it. You should get water out of it. What's wrong with their water? You know? It's not common, but it is like said as if it's not an issue to say something like that. And, you know, you still have like the misogyny, like I can't believe I'm in a women's prison and most of the higher leadership is men, and also they are, you know, homophobic, transphobic, misogynistic. And so yeah, it's a big reflection of our country. But circling it all down, when I say I really feel like the fight is within healthcare, when it comes to eating better food, having access to better care and things like that, and especially after the events with the you know, Luigi, it was sort of like for a few days, all of that went away. All of that went away. And it was just, I really can't believe people want us to care about what just happened. like, you know, like we don't all have a gripe with the healthcare system.
Yeah.
And I think because of what this administration is going and has been doing to our healthcare system and making it worse for people, their goal to repeal the ACA, everything that they've done with AB, everything that they plan to do and have been doing with trans healthcare, I think that it all has an underlying pinpoint of healthcare, and that is inherently a class-based issue because of how much money has been consolidated at the top, and the fact that this administration is going to be run by billionaires.
Yeah.
And
No,
so I think we do the work to build grassroots organizations together, focus on uplifting our communities, help raise money to uplift, you know, unfortunately, given the two-party system, Democratic, or actually money progressive. I think through the Democratic Party, we can push progressive policies and really stand on business about that, you know, and not back down.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and that's something that I think that we really need to actually focus on, and you know, coming up in these next couple of years, and that's one reason why I've really wanted to make sure that I hearken and I focus on marginalized communities, because I think it's going to take a focus on those communities and pushing forward to actually fight for those rights that we need. So I completely agree with you on that. I wanna circle back around because I do like we got 17, well, a little less than 18 minutes left until it's t-shirt time. So I do kind of want to open it back up. I know Gosh came up specifically because you had something that you wanted to add to the equal rights to marriage conversation. So I wanted to throw it over to Gosh, but I wanted to make sure I open up the panel for everybody else to actually speak on the topic.
Okay. Am I too loud right now?
No, you're good.
Okay. So, it's pronounced Gosha.
Gosha. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Gosha.
No, you said gosh.
You're not
But
about to make me look stupid twice in one night.
Gosh. You said gosh.
You
No, I
will
gave
get
you.
dropped.
Look, I gave you credit because normally I'm telling him to stop twerking back there. So
Yeah.
I gave you a little bit of credit
Okay.
for that. It was innuendo.
In what
So
window?
probably in the window
Go
back
ahead.
there.
Go ahead.
With the red light. So I wanted to come up because I am an officiant too. I do marry people too as well, and I do love giving same sex or interracial marriages. I love giving them that shot, and because I'm in Texas, so there's a lot of I guess a lot of Christians that don't want to give that for a lot of the couples, and I don't see the problem with it, so I like to give them their special day. And on the Legal side of it, yeah, if you're like I think it was ex smoke screen, but I know you have a different name. Was it Ty or
Ty.
sorry with the T?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ty.
Ty.
Hmm.
I
But
do
only I get to
want,
call. Only I get to
oh,
use that name. So you got to
I
figure out how to
apologize.
say whatever the the
Smoke
thingamajig
screen.
is.
I apologize. Okay,
I was
smoke
just
screen.
messing with you.
um, I do agree with you 100%. It is a thing, legal ways, if you pass or if you get seriously ill where you can't make decisions, they go to the next of kin and they won't go to your, if it, the, when the marriage is not recognized between same sex, it will go to the next of kin. And then that person's just sitting there left with nothing and they could be ousted completely by the entire family that didn't agree with the relationship to start off with because of their prejudice. And so that person could have go, the surviving person or the person that's not getting the rights for them will be going through a lot of mental strain and stress and issues because they were unable to get their relationship legally formulated from a legal standpoint. And so there's a lot of, it will go in with having, taking away the rights for same-sex couples and any couples would take away, also would put a lot of mental strain on the partners as well were something bad to happen. And that's what I wanted to touch in, so I bring it around to the whole mental and healthcare field too, because then there's a lot of unalivings and possible deep depressions that somebody could go through because they are not able to be there for their partner that they love and that they care about. So I just wanted to touch on that. So it does go like a full circle around everything. It hits on mental health, it hits on the rights, it hits on the acceptance and in the community as well and in their families. So it hits on a lot of aspects for the marriage rights to be taken away from people.
Yeah. Yeah, no, listen, that's something that I've thought about a lot, and I think that's again, it's on the table, and that's why it's so important, and for people to have equal access to marriage, to be able to protect themselves and their rights and their their actual union. Like I think that's super important. But you hit it dead on the head with a lot of different things. But I don't want to take up too much time. I want to make sure that we pass around the panel for anybody else that has anything. But I just want to read this off real quick. Guys, W's in the chat for Alina. W's in the chat for Alina. Thank you so much, Alina, for the $10 donation, saying thank you for hosting this space. Alina, you are so awesome. Thank you for being here. Guys, yeah, so we're $225 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. So if you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. And please don't forget about Sean. It's been a while since I heard Sean say thank you to anybody. So, let's make sure that we're taking care of Sean and, hitting Sean's Cash App, which is Watch My Legs. Let's make sure we're taking care of Sean as well, because Sean has been up here laboring with me the entire night.
You're too sweet.
Aw, I'm all right. With that being said, listen, guys, we got about 12 minutes. I will open up the floor. Anybody else wants to get in on this actual topic of equal right marriage?
I would like to say something because I do gotta drop soon.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just for what I wanted to add on to was equal rights marriage.
Equals right to marriage. I'm sorry.
Equal right to marriage. Equal right to marriage. We've I don't know how to phrase this, but in the past, a lot of people have used the past in order to be like, oh, this is how it should be. However, I think the issue is really how people are raised as well, given the fact that if they're raised in a household that says, oh, well, you can't have the equal rights to marriage, and I think it influences them into a way where they believe what they were taught. And I think that's an issue that we have to teach kids, an issue that we have to teach adults as well. And I think that turns into the issue, and I'm sorry for saying this, but this turns into the issue of the education system as well, how they're being taught. And I just think like we have to improve our education system to teach the equal rights to marriage. But that's what I wanted to say. I do gotta chop down, but thank you for having me up, Santana. You're awesome.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Are you about to go
You
live?
too. No, I gotta wake up early, but tomorrow I will go
Same
live.
here. Same here. All right, I'll slide through tomorrow. Have a good one.
Alrighty, you too.
I think one other thing we have to understand is, see, I grew up in a really religious, conservative household in rural America, South Carolina. And I have, like, all throughout my high school, I was actually a conservative, by the way. I was very, very conservative. All the way.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me just stop you just for a second, and
Sure.
let me do something real quick. So I want to hop in real quick and say, the other Joe Jai or whatever, if you're still here, the other Joe Jai, whatever. So just to kind of clarify, right? This is the prompt. Trump's America hates LGBTQIA. These are the topics, bullet point topics to the right. Couple of points that we have been speaking on: equal rights to marriage, transphobia is misogynoir, ignorance is hate, and communication. They are made as bullet points, so no, you're not going to get the complete context or understanding just by looking at everything, but this is what is it's here to actually guide a conversation and have a fleshed out panel, i.e. everyone on the panel has engaged in intelligent conversation. So instead of going back and forth with people in the chat or saying you don't understand or the background is nonsensical, you can do two things. Well, actually you can do three things. You can, one, either sit back, listen, and learn, and then get an understanding about the conversation. Two, you can request up, you can get on the panel, and you can actually engage in the conversation. Or three, you can shut the fuck up and get out the live. I'm fine with either one. With that being said, Sean, you can keep it as funky as you want. I mean, you good.
Okay.
But social, I'm sorry for interrupting.
Oh, no worries.
Go ahead and finish your thought.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, like, I grew up in a very conservative household, and like it wasn't talked about. Being gay wasn't ever talked about, and I would see like stuff on the news, and I would be like, hey, like why are they like protesting and stuff like that? Because this was like before the marriage, like this was like during the Obama times, like the early, I guess. And like I was kind of like, I said I was conservative, but I'd probably be more considered like apolitical because I just really didn't know anything really. And then, but I was always so perplexed at how much hatred I saw towards that group of people, and then like it made me not want to be myself. And like I just think that like the hatred and the like wanting to marginalize people, like it just does absolutely nothing for us as a society. And like I hope that people can like learn, and like even under a Trump presidency, I guess. I hope that they can learn that like every person is a human and every person deserves the basic necessities. Like they deserve their basic needs being met. Maslow,
Maslow
that pyramid,
hierarchy.
the pyramid of like, hey, you need your basic needs met.
Mm-hmm.
And like I feel like there is like this push from the mainstream media, even MSNBC, unfortunately, and these like what we consider left wing channels. I feel like they seed the ground, unfortunately, and give talking points to the right wing, and they kind of hurt our cause. So I feel like we need to like make a new media space, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's all I
Yeah,
wanted to.
listen, I will say I think that the media control, I think that overall, right, um, media is, I don't want to say tainted, right, but they have a term, if it bleeds it leads, and they have that term specifically. And I think that the media is responsible for sane washing Donald Trump, which put all of these marginalized groups in jeopardy, right? And I think that has a lot to do with it, and that's one of the reasons why I started doing what I do, right? I wanted to get my voice out, and I wanted to be a part of the positive perspective, but then also making sure that people know, like, this is not normal. What's happening is not normal, and that's why I want to use my voice to make sure that I call out. Like, I'm not trying to fearmonger when I talk about these things. I'm trying to set people expectations and make sure that we're living in reality, because I mean, at the end of the day, the LGBTQIA community is in jeopardy under the Trump administration, just like black people are in jeopardy, just like women are in jeopardy. I mean, like marginalized, just like disabled people are in jeopardy. Like, everyone is going to be in jeopardy, and I think the media has done such a harmful job. And yeah, I'm gonna just leave it there because we only got 3-something minutes left on the timer, and I know Sean wants to talk. Sean, you and I kind of talk for a second after the timer's off, but I want to give it open up to the panel if anyone else wants to chime in on anything else about the equal rights to marriage.
Yeah, I wanted to add in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
As a college student on FAFSA, I definitely have looked at the benefits of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And there are, downsides to everything. There's downsides to marriage as well. But I think the biggest thing with this topic that I wonder is when it's two consenting adults, who cares? Like, doesn't really affect anyone else. Like, who cares? It's not, I think the biggest religious point of view is that it started as a religious thing. I don't see, but it's not that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's not strictly based on religion. It's not strictly based on when women used to be property. It's ridiculous that people
back when they couldn't
pushing
even
this.
get a bank account?
Yeah, like at
And
some point I wouldn't be able to buy a house. I wouldn't
mm-hmm.
be able to go to college. I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be able to get a credit card without a husband
Mm-hmm.
or without my father's approval. So why are we still basing these things on? You wouldn't say that I don't deserve, like, since I'm not married, I don't deserve to go to college or get a credit card. So why do we say the same thing about this other community?
Yep.
Like, why do we keep oppressing people when we've learned from those things?
Yeah, well, that form of oppression, it is a way for them to actually do those things and maintain the power that they do have. So, I mean, why ask why when you know? Anyway, you said something that caught my attention, and somebody said something in chat. I haven't heard this. What do you mean, fast for marriage? Tell me about that. I'm a little bit
So
confused about
yeah, so me and my friend debated on getting married because right now I'm considered a dependent of my parents.
that. Mm-hmm.
So at least for my state, when I apply for FAFSA, since I am a dependent, it takes my parents' income into consideration, both my parents. I have two married parents, and then my income into consideration. But it doesn't matter if my parents pay for my college or not, which they do not. It's just me. So I get less because my parents make a substantial amount of income. But if I were to get married, I would no longer be dependent on my parents. I would go by me and my friend's income, which we are both 20 years old, not very high income. So I would get a lot more in FAFSA money because of that.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then, but the only downside to that is my friend does have a substantial savings account, so it would have put me in a higher tax bracket than what I should be in.
Well, if Trump gets rid of the Department of Education, then you can't apply for FAFSA, so all of it is a moot point.
Yeah.
So
I talked to Matt about that actually not too long ago.
Matt who?
The librarian.
Hey, that's my guy, Matt. That's who I was hoping you were talking about. I love Matt. He's
love
so
him.
smart.
He is. So yeah, actually Parker told me to go talk to him, so that's how I found Matt. And he basically told me, like, as far as FAFSA goes, to always keep an eye out for alternative student aid relief because there's a lot.
Yep.
And just keep an eye out for Board of Education. It's not 100% certain it will happen. It'll be definitely. There's a lot of things that has to go through.
Yep, absolutely. Hawk, were you about to say something?
Not really.
You came off mute. I thought you were about to say something.
Well, the previous part of the conversation, what hit me was the intersectionality in that because.
No.
What?
We won't talk about that. I'll tell you why later.
Okay.
I stopped Ty earlier.
Yeah, you had to stop me too.
Oh, I got you. Never mind. My light bulb just went off. I got you.
Okay, thank you. All right.
I have one last thing to add.
Yep.
It's really quick. So I just want to say to everybody that's listening, just like with any other right, just like with voting, just like with, your PTO at work, either use it or lose it. And I think that does apply here with our marriage rights. I think that does apply here with there's a lot of marriage rights who hold out on marriage, not because of any particular reason, but just because they decide to hold out. And I encourage everybody to consider moving forward with their marriages because ultimately they can't dissolve. If there's a massive amount of queer marriages in the United States, it's much harder to dissolve. So that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to say use it or lose it.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Hawk, Lulu, Gasha, Lily, Ty, Social, thank you all for coming up. I appreciate all of you guys. Gonna have to drop you down.
Could I ask a quick question before I get dropped down?
It's got to be super quick. Super.
Yeah, I was just going to ask Sean about better ways to advocate as a straight cis woman.
For the queer community?
Yes.
I'll go over that. I'll go over that when me and Santana talk. I promise.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, before you do your thing, Sean, I just want to say this real quick. When I said, when I was like, matter of fact, hold on, and I went to go play the music. When I put I put it on mute before I got ready to play the music.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why I heard from the other room screaming, "Oh God, no!"
Did you really hear that?
Yeah, she's screaming because
so
she's
funny.
watching right now, and so she screamed, "Oh God, no!" She knew exactly what was about to happen.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
Yeah. Anyway, Sean. All right, the floor is yours. What do you got?
Well, there is a couple things. I wanted to let everyone talk. The biggest thing that I really want to say is I want to say ways in which we should be moving in these next 4 years, and these should be ways that we continuously move. You already know I'm gonna be. That's why I sent you the message. I was like, how controversial can I be? How straightforward can I be? And you know me, I gotta advocate for revolutionary action every time. There's no
I already knew you was
anytime.
gonna say that. Just TikTok friendly language. I mean, you
Of
can,
course, of
as
course,
long as
of
that,
course.
yeah, you can take it. I knew that's what you wanted to do. Go ahead, you got it.
Look, I just because this is the I want people to, or really, it's not something that I want. It's what I need. I need people to understand and realize that uh, the how do I put it? The ways that they have been advocating for people, and the ways that they have been fighting for people, are and not for lack of trying, but they are inadequate. And it's because, and it's not really your fault. Like the system that we live in makes you inadequate. Uh, it makes you a. I don't want to say a victim of circumstance because that sounds mean, but it does make you a victim to the system. And what we need to do is realize that like the parties that we fight for typically, and the things that we usually fight for, and the ways that we usually fight, are inadequate to fighting fascism. There's no way. Like I said the other night, I said America is built on fascism. There's nothing you can do within the American system that will stop it from being fascist. I don't give a fuck who you put in office. Like there's zero things that you can do to stop America from uh, going towards its roots. It's what it knows. The advocation for queer people in these next 4 years should be moving away from politicians that protect the status quo. And I don't mean like politicians that protect the status quo, so now vote for a politician that says that they don't protect the status quo. I mean getting away from like relying on politicians to do anything at all, and starting our own coalitions and doing things for each other, building our own communities, creating webs and avenues for us to be able to rely on each other rather than relying on the systems at play. I'm saying a lot here. Go ahead, say something. Go ahead.
No. Listen, I'm letting you cook. This is your show.
I
This is your
understand. I
floor.
understand. But I go ahead and interrupt me. Go ahead and say what do you think so far? How do you feel?
I will text you.
No, tell me now. Tell me now. Tell me now. Come on. Come on.
I think that we deserve better. Also,
We do.
I will
We
say,
do.
free my homie Luigi.
Free my homie
I
Luigi.
will say that.
Free my mans.
Free my homie Luigi.
Free
I will
my
say that.
mans. No, that eight. 4 + 4. Basically what I'm saying here is that like the avenues we've been using in order to try and hold back fascism have failed miserably, because they cannot hold back fascism. They themselves adhere to the fascism in order to get ahead. This is what we've been talking about all night. We've been talking about communities that utilize oppressive systems and oppressive ways in order to get ahead within a system that only knows how to step on the necks of marginalized people. And so there is no way that, and I'm gonna say this out loud, because I had a really deep conversation the other day, and I'm trying to get people to realize this. There is no way that you're going to fix this with the Democratic Party. There is no way that you're going to fix this with the Green Party.
Damn
There
sure
is no
not with the
way
Green
that you're
Party.
going. There's no way you're going to fix this with any politician. Like politicians are not revolutionaries. Like these niggas are doing a job, like, and they're going to go wherever the bag goes. But a big thing that I do actually want to touch on when it comes to the advocation, because this was a part of a question someone asked me like right before we started
Yeah.
this, how to advocate. supporting avenues like there's a big right now there's a big gap in media, and the last time there was a big gap in media we saw the rise of red pill, because we saw these people who saw this big gap in media and entertainment for young men, and they took that gap and they filled it up with hateful rhetoric, especially towards women and anything that they see as quote unquote effeminate. And they blamed queer people, they blamed gay people. That's how we saw Gamergate, we saw Comicgate, and now we're seeing all of these things within communities that everyone is just looking up and going like, how did the comic book community become conservative? It's because of that gap in media.
Wait, did you say the comic book community?
The comic book community has the comic book community, the anime community, the nerd community in general has all branched out from Gamergate, and there's a Comic Gate. There's this whole thing where they are talking shit about black characters, women characters. If you put a woman in a movie, be ready to get bombarded on X, and be ready to get bombarded on really any media platform that you like are on, with just these incel assholes and these pick-me's who are saying, oh, we don't need go woke, go broke. That they have a whole saying, go woke, go broke, meaning that if you put a woman or if you put a black person as the main character in your story, we're boycotting, essentially is what it is. And people are looking up and going, when did my community, this nerd community, whatever fandom you're in or whatever, become conservative? And that's when it happened with the rise of red pill in the mid 2010s. So we're seeing right now, and I want to warn you all, we're seeing right now with the fall of TikTok, we're going to have a big hole in media entertainment. We're going to and we see these podcasts that were dedicated to like red pill content or dedicated to essentially just right-wing content. We're seeing them lose a lot of steam because people are losing interest in that sort of thing. But if we don't pick up that fumble, then it's just going to be the next thing. It's just going to be the next transphobia, the next like transphobic media going in, or queerphobic media, whatever it is, bi pan erasure media, whatever it may be, anti-black media. We all know how much they love them some anti-blackness.
Oh, you know they love it.
And the ways that we do this, the way that we advocate for LGBTQ, and I'm going to touch on a small intersection here. The way that we advocate for the LGBTQ, the way that we advocate for Black people, the way we advocate for just anyone, brown people, indigenous people, what women, anything like that, any marginalized group, is that we fill these holes of entertainment. If you've been thinking about doing a YouTube channel, right now is the time. Right now do you know how many people are going to be on YouTube on January 21st?
It's about to go down.
It's about to be insane. It is about to be insane. Like, so many people are going to different platforms. They're going to Twitch, they're going to YouTube. They're trying to find these areas where they can fill whatever. They're going to Instagram, where they can fill this void that TikTok.
Did you hear what I said earlier?
What'd you say?
I'm thinking about making me an old Facebook page.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
I might make an old book. I might make an old book face page.
Oh my God!
Listen,
Facebook.
Because you're absolutely right. Like, there's an opportunity, and like the Republicans say, flood the zone. Shit, why not?
That's what you do. That's what you do. And so to advocate for that, promo the channels that have been on YouTube for a couple years, but are severely underappreciated, that talk about good queer messaging, and advocate for the queer community in the way that we want to advocate for the queer community, because they will see like this influx of people on YouTube, and if we don't take advantage of that, then it's just going to go right back to the hateful content. But I especially, and I need y'all to hear this one. I especially need, like you, Santana, and I need other people who especially are men, to start filling the void for young man entertainment. because young man entertainment is probably the biggest void we have. Like, men are the targeted audience for most entertainment, but young man entertainment that teaches them things about political issues, where they should stand, what they should advocate for, are are almost non-existent on the left. We have so many things that just advocate towards everyone as a whole, whereas like there are intersections that like men just simply cannot relate to. Like, men just simply cannot relate to because they have that man privilege of being, number one, being a man and socialized as a man in society, that they don't understand certain things that are being told in different platforms. And so they can't relate to it. And so they get turned off to it and they go to something that they can relate to. And I'm not trying to sit here and boo-hoo for men, but this is just what young men typically do. If something is not geared towards you and something does not apply to you, it is hard for you to engage with it sincerely. And so you look for something that you can engage with sincerely. And so
I'll say this, right? Because I got the jokes, right? And I love bringing a sense of humor and a sense of levity to everything. And, you know, even if I don't know what that means, I take it as disrespect. But I am an educated black man, right? With multiple degrees and some really good success in life. And I say all that to say I understand reaching those people who aren't educated in the same way, and how sometimes you have to speak a little bit different to actually reach those people. And I think that's necessary for the group of people that you're talking about, those young men, because I think there's a lot of people, especially in the political sphere, that like to pontificate and they like to, you know, demonstrate how smart they are. And a lot of people just don't get it, right? And sometimes you gotta, if you're trying to connect with people, if you're trying to fill that void, if you're trying to fill that space, then you got to be able to speak their language.
exactly.
So, like, everything that you're saying is spot on. Spot on.
And this isn't just me like pulling stuff out of my butt. Don't get me wrong. I do a lot of research. I don't have any degrees, but I do a lot of research, especially on because, like I said, when I do my YouTube channel, I want to review media content from a leftist lens. And I really think, because with the rise of the red pill content, red pill turned into mostly this alpha male, anti-woman, misogynistic content. It used to just be right-wing content. Like, red pill used to just be called the alt-right pipeline, is what it used to be called. What we need is, and I lied to you not, this is something that, like, people think I'm joking when I say this sometimes, but I'm so serious. We need what what Trump would call an alt-left pipeline.
Yep, I've heard people say that.
And
You're
we need
absolutely
people,
right.
exactly. We need people who are like beginners to like leftist theory and tolerance and coexistence and advocation. Because when you look at the reason why young men during the void, like the big void of 2014, I want to call it the big void of 2014 of entertainment that turned things into the red pill movement. The reason they went towards the red pill movement is they were, and I bullshit you not, they were looking for guidance, and they could not relate to a lot of the shit that other people were saying.
What did I
because
just
they
say, Sean?
Exactly. They just could not relate to the intersections. They cannot relate to the oppressions of being a woman. They can empathize with it, but they can't take that and go out and do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they can't take the and like with straight men, they can't take like the oppressions of being gay. They can't take those oppressions, right? Like they're not queer. So when you're talking to queer people, or when you're talking to women, or when you're talking to just any marginalized demographic, and they don't have those marginalizations, they're an able-bodied white man, or even an able-bodied black man oftentimes. They feel like they cannot relate to these things. They cannot do the things that you're asking them to do because they don't even know what the oppressions feel like. And so they go and look for something that is geared towards them in particular. And again, I'm not trying to advocate for them going to the far right pipeline. I'm just telling you what they told us
Yep.
that led them down this road.
Yeah. No, listen, everything that you said is spot on, and it's conversations I've had with many people on the back end, and hell, I'll say it. Like even the young YT content creators that are on TikTok, right? You talk about Parker, Dean, Harry, Chris, but then you also talk about the black ones when you talk about Isaiah Martin. You talk about
Mhm.
even Jaden, like
Consciously.
well, yeah, but I'm talking about like the younger ones, right? Because
Okay. Okay.
everybody that I just mentioned is in their early to mid 20s. Like Isaiah and Jaden are 26, right? And like all the rest of them are younger than that. But like those, like I'm old and crusty and dusty, right? Like yeah, my voice needs to be heard, and I can play a role as I guess I'm technically getting close to an elder role or whatever. But like the younger guys, they fit that exact mold that you're talking about, and that's the conversation I've been having with them, and like they're gearing up because listen, Sean, everything that you're saying, everybody sees it. Everybody sees it. You're 100% right. So, yeah, like that. It's needed, and it's an opportunity, and if we don't, then it's just going to be more people funneled through the alt right pipeline. So
Exactly this.
So
Exactly this. In the fastest way, and you want to know something, because it was happening for a short period of time, but it was a little premature. And this is how I know that this is what will happen if we don't capitalize on this media shortage, and advocate for each other on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, or wherever else it is that we decide to go, is because the fastest way, as like there's been a media study done, I believe it was at MIT, the fastest way to get to the alt-right pipeline today, transphobia. It is the fastest way.
That's why right before the election, what did they start doing?
Exactly this.
Listen, I wanted to talk about
Exactly
bathrooms
this.
tonight, but Sean, tomorrow we're talking about bathrooms.
We can talk about bathrooms tomorrow.
We're
I
talking
also
about
want to
bathrooms
talk
tomorrow.
about. I want to, because that's actually a really good segue, the bathrooms, to talk about something I really want to talk about called dual power and what we should be doing with
Wait,
with
hold on, no, don't give away the house yet.
I'm not gonna give away nothing.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not gonna give away nothing. I'm just saying I also want to talk about dual power and what we should be doing in our communities. But the fastest way to the alt-right pipeline for algorithms, on Instagram, on TikTok, and on there was this other app I had never heard of, so I forgot the name of it.
Is it Lemonade or Kick?
No, it wasn't Lemonade or Kick. If you're on Kick, go to jail.
I
Go
don't
to
know what
prison.
it is, but I saw it. Listen, I just got
Yeah.
I got the dual streaming set up, and it says something about like Kick, and I was like, do I need one of those too? I don't know.
Nah,
anything about it.
Kick is, well, if it's the Kick that I'm thinking of, I was groomed on Kick.
Oh.
But and
Whoa.
everybody,
Hey,
I'm not
yo.
joking. I'm not joking. Like I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I was groomed on Kick, and everyone I know who had a Kick was also groomed on Kick. But yeah, the whole thing here is that it took I forgot the name of the app, but on TikTok, on Instagram, and there was this other app, I can't remember what it was, but the fastest way to get to the alt-right pipeline, which means it's the fastest way to literally get Yahtzees on your page. And I don't mean like you'll see like Mitch McConnell doing some stuff on here or whatever else, and some far right and some people. No, I mean literal Yahtzees that are not supposed to be on the app, violate the terms of service, and only have maybe 2 or 3 day accounts. You'll be seeing their videos pop up on your page within 30 minutes.
Yeah.
of doing within the algorithm of doing what we call turf shit and going towards the transphobic pipeline. It is the fastest way to the alt-right pipeline.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it funky with you. Sean, you did sparring with Santana with me,
Mm-hmm.
and you've also done late nights with Santana with me. You see how them numbers move depending on what we're doing.
I do.
It's the algorithm.
It's that algorithm. I'm telling you.
The algorithm knows what it likes.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. But no, seriously though, that is the fastest way. And there's other ways to get to the alt-right pipeline, don't get me wrong. But if we don't take advantage of this, transphobia will. There's no question. They've already done the media studies. They've already shown that it takes 30 minutes of looking at 30 minutes accumulated in total looking at transphobic things to get far right content, pro far right content on your on here we call it the For You page, on Instagram we call it the feed, and the discovery page. It takes 30 minutes of looking at transphobic content.
You know what? You know when I go to Instagram, first of all, you guys can't find me on Instagram because my Instagram is private. But you know what my feed looks like on Instagram?
What does it look like?
I got a bunch of science videos. I like the videos.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like hydraulic crushes, and then like when people making stuff, or like I don't know. I like nerd stuff. Like that's what all this stuff pops up on my feed. I enjoy my algorithm.
I have such a big mix of everything on my feed. I have a bunch of hardcore videos of people just moshing and dancing to hardcore songs. I got I'm getting a lot of dog and cat videos lately.
I get a bunch of animal videos for me.
Yeah, I think it's Alina's fault. I never used to get that. And then I started hanging out with Alina again.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting dog and cat videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we don't fill this, I keep saying the same thing over and over, but I cannot stress to you how important it is that we fill this gap, this media gap that is coming, and that we already see on these apps that we are going to be on and we're going to migrate to, and start galvanizing our followers to go over there, so that our streams, a big thing on Twitch and a big thing on YouTube is that if you are already big, people watch you more because they feel like they've been missing something.
Yep.
And so if we
trying to get all my people over here to go over there.
Go over there. Exactly this. And that's what Jeff has been trying to do. That's what Jones has been trying to do. That's what I've been trying to do for the most part. And I just need people to know, like, advocating for your favorite creator who is on TikTok, but doing it on YouTube, and sending our YouTube videos out to people that you know that would like these YouTube videos and like this kind of content, and sharing it with each other. If someone doesn't know our name for whatever reason, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Instagram, or whatever else it is. Like, matter of fact, I haven't plugged my Instagram. All my socials are Watch My Legs. My Blue Sky is Watch My Legs. My Instagram is Watch My Legs. My YouTube is Watch My Legs. My Twitch is Watch My Legs. And obviously my TikTok is Watch My Legs. All of it is Watch My Legs.
Cash App is Watch My Legs as well. I mean, if you guys, there's almost 300 people in here. So if you guys want to bless Sean, you'll go ahead and hit that Cash App, Watch My Legs. Also, hey, we can close out the nightly goal. There's enough people here. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24, best way to support the live. Anyway, go ahead, Sean.
There it is. But no, he's not wrong. The matter of fact, let me check it. Let me see if I got any W's. We're good. But yeah, I don't want to go too deep into it because I'm gonna start talking about.
Save it for tomorrow.
I'm gonna start talking about. Yeah, I'm gonna start talking about Blue Power and all that.
Do you know
but
Jessica
I do.
Simone?
Jessica?
Yeah, Jessica Simone.
I don't think I know Jessica.
You gotta connect with Jessica Simone. She's so dope. Matter of fact, she's right there in the chat. If you make sure you give her a follow. Jessica's so dope.
Done. Um, but yeah, I want us to talk about that, and I want us to start doing that, and that's just like the start of this. Where in these spaces, what we need to be doing in these spaces, we got to talk to each other as well. What we need to be doing in these spaces is teaching each other how to build networks for each other. In our local communities, teaching each other how to. I try and do my best to tell people how to unionize their jobs. I try my best to tell people how to create tenant unions for their community, even outside their jobs. I try my best to get people to read their local laws and learn how to defend themselves. I think we need to start advocating for things we don't advocate for. I'm a trans woman. I own multiple firearms. I carry. I have a license to carry.
Hey,
There
Sean.
is. The,
Not you would. I always got the stick with me.
I always got it with me. Listen,
We get real
listen.
sticky.
We getting real sticky. Grab a mop. Grab a mop. But no, I'm so serious. Like we're not in this. We've never actually been in an age, and the left has been trying to tell people for a long time. But honestly, it takes you got to see it for yourself. I can't make you see something. You know what I'm saying? I can't make you see that you're in an abusive relationship with the Democratic Party. I can't make you see that they're weaponizing incompetence. I can't make you see that they are ignoring your issues on purpose and selling you out. I can't make you do that. All I can do is tell you that it's happening and tell you what to do to build up whatever resource based or community based help that it is that you would need in order for things to come to a head. And it looks like things might be coming to a head here.
Pretty much. Listen, this is the last thing I'm gonna say, and then I gotta go to bed because I got a 4:15 a.m. meeting. I've tried to say this over and over and over and over and over and tell my community, like, be prepared, like, do all the things, make sure you have important documents, make sure that you have a plan, like, be prepared, prepare for the worst and hope for the best, like, because you are absolutely right, things are coming to a head. So I don't know.
I'm telling you. All right.
We got to get into it tomorrow, Sean.
Absolutely.
We starting about bathrooms, and then we're going to hit the communication.
Absolutely. Bathroom's going to be something.
It's going to be wild.
Bathroom's going to be something.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, my gosh. I do have to talk to you about somebody who wants to do, I'm not going to talk too long, but somebody who wants to do some lives with you. I told them about you.
Okay.
And they're really, really interested in doing some lives with you about it's still trans issues, but they just want to talk to you about some things.
Yeah. Tell them to hit my line.
I got you.
All right.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Hanging out.
W to everybody who sent me a Cash App or all the gifts. I love y'all. Y'all are amazing. These things are going towards things that I really, really needed, and I actually really appreciate y'all.
Are you getting
Y'all are
another
awesome.
stick?
No. These are going towards things. So I have gender dysphoria, and I get gender dysphoria so badly these days sometimes that, like, on my day off, even some days where I have to go to work, I can't even get up. So I need like a mental health day. These things are going toward, like, the money that I have and the savings that I have are going towards things to, like, gender affirming care, not just like clothes or anything. I'm saving up for some things, and we'll talk about it later because it's.
I'll text you because you're gonna make me, like, I'll text you. We'll talk about it because you should have been said something because we could have been did
It's
something.
fine.
So
Don't trip. Don't
Whatever.
trip. I am. there's things that I want, because if I told, no, you know what, never mind, I ain't gonna say that because I ain't gonna get you started.
Just text me. Just text
I
me.
got you.
I gotta go
I
to
got
bed.
All right, go to bed. Go to bed. Yeah, you got to get up in the morning.
At
All right.
4:15. Yeah. All right. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. We're gonna do this again.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you guys for being here. YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, all of you guys. I love everyone. I love the chat. I appreciate you guys so much. We will be doing this again tomorrow night. Let's go raid Carbon. Let's go raid Carbon. Carbon.gg. Carbon.gg. Santana raid. Carbon.gg. Guys, let's get over there. I love you all. And as always, peace.